Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, All People's Island. Start to strengthen burning fruit. Chapter 81. The calm chat channel became lively in an instant. No, 9527. Hey, you're on FAGE's island. I'm relatively simple, don't lie to me. No, 0331. My sister won't lie to you. My sister worships Brother FA so much, so I came all the way. Brother FA, don't hit me. No, 0386. I'm crying, dear 0331, you don't come to my island. Everyone. This wonderful third brother is still alive. Catherine chattered in the group for a while, and then her expression returned to seriousness. I deliberately spoke in the group. On the one hand, I wanted to say hello to him and express my goodwill. On the other hand, I also wanted to test his reaction. But this guy didn't move at all. He is really a very scary guy. However, why is this guy's island so weird? Catherine originally thought that she would sneak into the island first, and then observe this guy's island first. After all, compared to others, this guy's island is really too big. Even his own island is only 1/10 of his. She speculated that this should be the system's reward for Chen Yang. But she found herself not to send. My own angel had just approached the island, and there were quite a few powerful creatures in the sea. Basically, none of these creatures is below level 8. They directly attacked themselves. At first, Catherine thought it was just an ordinary attack. After all, it is very normal for the powerful District Beast 20 to hunt. However, as time went on, she realized that something was wrong. These sea beasts are actually guarding the island. Yes, guard the island. This sounds so ridiculous, but it really happened. These sea beasts should be deadly enemies with the island owners. In this way, there is only one possibility: these sea beasts have been domesticated by this Chen Yang. But does this Chen Yang have the ability to tame animals? Why do I think of that number 0386, that hateful and disgusting Asan dog when it comes to animal taming? It's just a psychological shadow. Even this time, Catherine wanted to go directly and kill him. However, if you do this, you will be too extreme, and it does not conform to the elegance of the angel family at all. What's more, in comparison, coming to find number 888 is quite important. If I want to force my way, these sea beasts can only be based on my experience. With the angel, she can easily obtain these experience points without doing anything herself. However, this time I came here not to make enemies. So, she was still very sensible and didn't take any action. Catherine waited for a while, feeling a little itchy again. This guy, isn't he on his own island? Or, go to his island and watch. At first, after Catherine discovered that these sea beasts might be guarding the island, she stopped moving. She doesn't want to intensify the conflict. But now, she really couldn't help but feel anxious. It's just a mere sea beast. As long as you fly over, nothing will happen. Catherine was really ready to move again. As the two rays of light flashed, the angel wings spread. She is now a double-winged angel. Of course, unlike Liu Sheng Yidao's choice back then, she herself did not directly transform into a foreign race. In Western terms, she is now God's apostle. Catherine's body is flying in the low sky. I have to say that she is really beautiful. It is not the graceful and gentle beauty of traditional Oriental women, but the tall, concave convex beauty of Western women. Catherine crossed the coastline and flew directly over the island. As soon as she entered, she was shocked. This guy's island is completely different from other people's. The aura here can be described as sacred. Apart from holy, she couldn't think of any other adjectives when. Why is this so? Is it because of the top prize? She is so envious. If I lived here, my skin would be much better. Fact, this guy really knows how to live. Is he still farming on the island? This guy. Catherine slowly descended from the sky, preparing to check the island further. But, at this moment, fierce beasts appeared one after another, and the strongest one had already reached level 10. Catherine's complexion changed again. If I didn't get the bestowal from the God of Light and continued to develop step by step, then I would feel extremely strenuous just to face these ferocious beasts. If it wasn't for the God of Light to let her hunt the void behemoth, according to her improvement speed, she might only be around level 12 now. Level 12, facing these two fierce beasts, one head and two ends, is very firm. But on this island, more than 10 pigs have already been saved. It's no wonder that this guy left his island so easily. It turns out he has something to rely on. With the lineup of fierce beasts in front of you, who dares to come? Isn't this who comes and who dies? Catherine suddenly felt a little regretful, and she rushed in rashly. At this time, she was already in a dilemma. I have stepped into his island, and according to the rules, the system will notify the island owner. These ferocious beasts are targeting me. But, if I kill them, will that guy be very angry? After all, on the other party's island, this is the other party's property. The disgusting thing is that there are flying beasts on his island. Just when Catherine is caught between a rock and a hard place. Boom! A flame burst out suddenly. The extremely violent flames directly bombarded her unused skewers. Catherine's eyes lit up, and she said with great interest, "This guy, here he comes. He is really a man with a strong desire for revenge. The first thing he did was to destroy my angel." However, at this time, she was not panicked at all. This guy really thought he could destroy my angel so easily. Too naive. Although the angel number is only an A-level item, it has an unparalleled strong defense. That is a blessing from the gods, and it is definitely not something that a mortal can break. Chen Yang was indeed taking revenge. The number 0331 stepped into the island without his own permission. No matter what her original intention is, this is provocation. Faced with such a provocation, I must fight back. It is indeed a good choice to directly destroy this angel. However, his fire fist didn't work. This ship is weird, and it feels a little familiar to me. When I destroyed the undead pirate ship, I encountered a similar force. This should be the special power of the faction's words, but the world rules at that time were relatively strong. So, at that time, the light of the undead warship was not so powerful. However, with this kind of power, can it really stop me now? Chen Yang's current attribute value has reached a terrifying level. This kind of protective light, he can tear it apart with a little force. However, now he didn't want to end it so simply and directly. Since you want to play, let me show you a shocking one after a while. After speaking, the flame burst out again. Flame Dragon King. The power of the dragon elephant was already very powerful, but after being instilled by the Nine Suns Flying Immortal Sutra, it has undergone a new transformation. In the distance, after seeing that Chen Yang's first punch had no effect, she already showed a smug smile. HMPH, even if you are the number 1 existence in the rankings today, you are still far behind me. She has now confirmed that Chen Yang is just doing it alone. However, he does have a background. However, you guys can actually attract the attention of angels, which is already very powerful. I hope that our meeting this time will be pleasant. Just as she was talking to herself triumphantly, an extremely terrifying flame dragon king emerged at this moment. The extremely violent flames turned into a fire dragon, rising in the sky. After seeing this scene, she was actually a little scared. 897. What kind of power is this? Is this the power of this guy's S item? However, even dollar level items shouldn't be so powerful. After all, what I control is also S. Boom. Following the terrifying sound of destruction, Catherine was immediately dumbfounded. My angel. At this moment, Wei Lin was numb all over. Although it is just an A-rank battleship, this ship has been blessed by the gods. At that time, I directly said to which angel on my street. Even a level 30 monster cannot break the angel's protection. But now, this guy, he did it. What does that mean? That guy has a terrifying power over level 30. No, it's impossible. Catherine's heart was trembling. Obviously, the level has just been announced. This guy's real level is level 17. It's not that it's level 17, the level is relatively low because this strike is the king of the A1 area. But there is a huge difference between level 17 and level 30. When Catherine was still terrified, Chen Yang had already stepped out of the air. Catherine murmured to herself, he came here through the air. He is not flying, because he does not use any props. But, if his ability is flying, then what was the previous flame? Or, does he already have more than 2 S level items? No, maybe it's not just 2 pieces. Chen Yong came in front of Catherine, condescendingly, and said coldly, "Are you looking for death?" Catherine actually thought about a lot of scenes when she met number 888. But she never thought that she would be so humble. She simply couldn't summon up the courage to talk to this man. Even, her knees couldn't bear it anymore, and she knelt down. But, at this moment, behind Catherine's body, the wings of light shine. Immediately, a light and shadow began to slowly rise into the sky. At this moment, the angel, descend. The melodious holy light drifted out like mist. Immediately, a tall, beautiful, and gentle figure gradually began to condense into shape. Looking at this shadow, Chen Yong kept a cold face. Although he was a little surprised, his subjective mood was still very calm. After all, although angels are rare, they have already killed the undead and the Ice Prince, so another angel would not surprise him much. Chen Yong could keep calm, but Kaiser was directly stunned. Why did this angel appear directly without my consent? According to the original plan, it should be for me to negotiate directly with number 888, right? But now, before the negotiation even started, Lord Angel has already appeared. Catherine threw her head back and gritted her teeth. What the hell is going on here? Has the angel abandoned me? Finally, a beautiful creature wrapped in light and with 4 white jade wings behind it appeared. Her current height is about 3 meters. However, she is really beautiful. In terms of body shape, she should be regarded as having an explosive body like Catherine's, who has been magnified in the same proportion. Mysterious, sensual, enchanting but sacred, and surrounded by brilliance. This should be a creature that satisfies all fantasies of normal men. Dear Your Excellency number 888, I am an angel of the angel family, Irene. This time, we came with full sincerity. Chen Yong had a cold face, his body was already wrapped in flames. The moment she appeared and moved, Chen Yong had already cast the appraisal technique. Race Angel Pure. Grade Level 20, Surface Level. Skills Slaying by Holy Light, Blessing of Holy Light, Wings of Holy Light. Remarks: the race that claims to spread light to all worlds. Such creatures are extremist practitioners, because the so-called light may be the darkness in their hearts. Chen Yong didn't want to make too much judgment on the thoughts of this bright angel. Religion is such a troublesome thing. The stronger the belief, the more terrible the extremist. What he cares about is surface level 20. In other words, level the 20th of maybe the highest level that the world allows them to exist. In this world, Chen Yong has already seen a powerful existence at level 49, and the voice that warned him at that time was stronger than Xingluo King Kong. Moreover, he has even killed level 25 creatures. That Styx jellyfish should be a creature of this world, and the Deep Sea clan controlled and drove it over. So, of course its level can exceed 20. Of course, since it's a superficial level, I can only get the factor that the world still has limitations, which doesn't make sense. Chen Yong collected his energy. He opened his mouth slowly. Break into my island, kill the captive pets, and still say that you came with sincerity. Catherine immediately explained. I didn't do it on purpose, I didn't know they were raised by you, father. This woman is very smart. Not long after the angel Irene appeared directly, she already figured out a lot of things. I originally wanted to compete with him. I thought that with the support of angels, I would definitely not lose to this dragon country man. But now, I was wrong. The angel appeared directly instead of talking to him by himself, because he felt that he was no longer qualified to talk to him. Of course she was very unconvinced at first. However, when she thought of the scene where Chen Yong directly destroyed the angel just now, her heart went numb. It turns out that men in the Dragon Kingdom can be so charming. No, it should be said that there is no one in this world who is more attractive than him. He is really a man who can make people afraid to get wet. When I saw him, I was sweating profusely. Catherine is a typical strong woman. If the other party is not as good as herself, then she will dismiss it. However, she was completely convinced by the Xian man who made herself no longer even have the idea of competing. She explained, but Chen Yong didn't look at her. Dear Your Excellency, I really came here with full sincerity. In order to gain your friendship, I am willing to provide you with an A-level item. Dao, an S-level item, is currently very scarce here. Quote. Chen Yong suddenly smiled and said, the friendship between a man and a woman needs to be developed. I have wanted to try an angel for a long time. When Irene heard this, she was taken aback for a moment, then said with a smile. So, does the respected strong man want my body? I am very happy to combine with a strong person like you, but unfortunately, I am now a glorious body, an elemental body, and I cannot do some happy things with you. However, Catherine, as the apostle of the God of Light, is not only a pure human woman, but also possesses the body of a half-angel. She may be able to. Stop. Chen Yang stopped her straight away. What kind of mess is this? Sure enough, this woman must have slandered me too many times. Chen Yang said directly. What I said is in the real sense, fight. I want to know how powerful you are as an angel. Aaron was taken aback, smiled and said. Sorry, I misunderstood you. This is because Catherine provided wrong information. She said that, No 888, is an old woman. Of course, there are not a few Oriental men who want to conquer the big ocean horse. As you wish, even if you ask for it. Irene smiled, and a holy light was released from her body. She also really wanted to fight Chen Yang, because it would allow her to better understand the strength of the number 1 player in the A1 area. In fact, at the very beginning, she didn't even think about coming out. After all, he is just a human being. However, the moment Chen Yang smashed the angel, she felt the power of this human being. For her, the power at this level cannot be said to be particularly strong. But, this is the AL area, a newly born world area. According to their calculations for the newborn world, within 10 days, if someone can surpass the 10th level, it is already excellent and worth cultivating. In fact, the current refreshed level of island monsters should be the normal level. But, this human directly reached level 17. On the side of the light, I have already gone to understand that this human being has not received any help from any force. Even, he was on the hunting list of many camps. In other words, he relied on himself to rise up. His existence is absolutely different. Because even Catherine, who was directly trained by the God of Light, barely stepped into the 15th level until today. Therefore, this number 888 island owner is definitely a man who can be made. However, today this man once again gave her shock. He actually destroyed the angel in one fell swoop. It should be noted that the holy light defense on the surface of the angel is capable of withstanding the world's most BO-level behemoths. In other words, this man fully possesses the ability to fight beyond level 10. This is really too violent. For this reason, she immediately realized that there was a problem with her previous decision. She has realized that this man is no longer something Catherine can communicate with. It's not that Catherine is bad at communication, on the contrary, this woman is very attractive. Moreover, he has maintained a perfect body so far, which is already very rare in Western countries in this era of Blue Star. She is also very obedient and able to let go. But now, it doesn't work. Because her level of life is not enough. When the strength reaches a certain level, it has already involved the gap in the level of life. It is impossible for an advanced predator to become a partner with an insect. So, she came in person. The holy light was released from inside her body. She was already more than 3 meters tall, and she directly reached 5 meters in height. In her palm, a bright spear with a length of 7 meters appeared directly. This angel of light clearly had a high fighting spirit at this time, but his voice was soft and even charming. Dear Your Excellency, please unleash your strength to your heart's content, I can support you. Quote. In an instant, Chen Yang directly entered a special realm. The power of the steel wrist. Kowloon lifts off. Burning fruit, magma fruit. In an instant, a strange shadow began to gather behind Chen Yang. On his left is a huge fire dragon, and on his right is a terrifying magma hound. Flame Dragon King, 9 Dragons Dark Dog. The two attacks launched at the same time, and then the terrifying Li Huang directly merged into one at this moment. Chen Yang thought, such a blow already possesses 50% of my power. I don't know how powerful it will be in the end. After practicing the 9 Suns Flying Immortals, his improvement was really great. The previous combat induction has long been outdated and is not accurate. So, this angel came just in time. Chen Yang's aura has accumulated to a certain level. Li Jiao obviously, it is already ready to go, the final sprint. But at this time, the angel Irene actually smiled charmingly and said, "You are a strong man, so please be gentle with your actions. People may not be able to bear it." However, her ridicule did not bring any reaction from Chen Yang. When the fight started, Chen Yang's only thought was, kill her. At this moment, Chen Yang directly turned into a super fighter of Huolong magma level. Catherine didn't know how to describe her mood at this time. He was really speechless, because in this instant, the only sound she heard was the bursting sound of the air being extremely compressed. Catherine lost sight. All that her nerves fed back to her was a patch of intense glare. The unimaginable power made her tremble, and she even wanted to bury herself underground. It seems that only by hiding deep under the soil can you celebrate in peace. The storm didn't spread very far. It did not cause huge damage to the island, because, just when the power was about to explode to the extreme, a more powerful radiant field appeared, blocking everything. Finally, the Nongxing storm passed. The four-winged angel Irene was still standing in the air with a smile on her face. Although, her own body has actually been damaged. "It's so powerful," she said. "Really, it's too powerful." Irene lowered her head, and said slowly in a voice that only she could hear. "My body of light was almost scattered. At this moment, there is already a hole in her left abdomen. In addition, her most proud part is also missing half. Is broken. As for other minor injuries, there is no need to say. However, how can a human race be so powerful? Sure enough, he is special. Really, too cruel." In that split second, the violent power turned into a storm and pushed towards him directly. In that instant, flames, magma, and the familiar mysterious dragon power intertwined together. In the end, he destroyed his own light gun, and at the same time destroyed his own defense. This man controls the power of the dragon. However, he is not a dragon. He is a very pure human being. Because, he has the title of Dragon Slayer. Of course, dragons will fight each other, but it is impossible to get the title bestowed by the world. It is even more impossible to have a reverse Longwei. Chen Yang's feet hit the ground. At this time, Chen Yang was also quite embarrassed. The opposing party's lightning spear is indeed a very powerful force. Really, terrifying power. Just that blow just now, almost crushed my body. Almost pierced through the defensive true energy of the 9 dragons Jinyang iron cloth shirt on my body. Although, after this layer of true energy is pierced, he still has ice armor defense. He also has dragon scale defense. He can still carry it with his physical body. However, it is a huge potential risk that one's own defense can be pierced and broken. This bright angel has a level of 20 on the surface, but the real power she erupts is beyond the level of the Styx jellyfish. Therefore, blind guessing level 28 to 30. After all, the current self has not fought 460 with this level of existence. This conclusion is still based on comparisons and inferences. However, after this fight, I probably have an idea. Very good. For him, the most powerless place in human beings is ignorance. If you can't see the outside world, you can only be complacent because of your own improvement. Well, such a person usually dies very quickly. At this moment, Irene's body flashed a ray of light again. Then, her body slowly sank down. When her feet were on the ground, her dilapidated body had recovered. Okay, Chen Yang raised his brows. This kind of recovery power is a bit special. It is even easier to use than my own Tianlong magic. Irene said with a smile. This is just a small trick of using the power of the great god of light. Use the energy of light to refill the body. It can be regarded as the ability of super speed regeneration. Chen Yang nodded, very sincerely. Thank you for letting me know. Just now, I felt the light around her, which dimmed a little. It seems that this radiant version of super speed regeneration is not without flaws. In the future, if you become an enemy of the god of light, you can record this point. Irene's body shrank down. She is now the same height as Chen Yang. She walked directly in front of Chen Yang, and the two of them were so close that Chen Yang could even smell the fragrance of her body. Respected strong man, you have won the recognition and respect of me, the four-winged angel, Irene. I am willing to have further exchanges and cooperation with you. If Chen Yang is an old person, then he should take advantage of the situation and say, does it go deep into the body or deep into the soul? Unfortunately, in the world of killing CGCD, Chen Yang defines himself as a straight man of steel. That servant of yours killed the sea beasts around my island, so he has to pay for it. Hearing the word servant, Catherine was obviously very unnatural. However, at this time, she did not have the right to speak. Because being weak is the original sin. In the chat channel, I also claimed to let this man know what a stupid decision it was to impersonate S. But he didn't expect that now he became a clown. This feeling made her feel very powerless. After hearing Chen Yang's words, Aaron laughed out loud and said, "Ha ha ha, you are really an interesting person." Sure enough, Irene didn't care at all what Catherine thought. As Catherine herself thought, however, Catherine didn't do it on purpose, and the sea beasts and beasts she killed were all above level 10. I will give you 3 B level items, how about it? You have to know that a level 10 ferocious beast is actually nothing to people at our level. Chen Yang shook his head, and then said, "It's not your calculation. To you, these are just a few unremarkable level 10 beasts, but to me, it's not." Okay, Chen Yang said very honestly. They contain my deep love, and I have paid too much to tame and train them. They can be said to be my children. Catherine. She was speechless for an instant, and thought in her heart, "Boss father, are you kidding me? You are not that perverted San of number 386. Irene smiled, reversely asked, "So, add money. 10 A level items, or 2 S level items." Catherine, hiss, is he crazy, to be able to open his mouth like a lion? Do you know how valuable S level items are? Whether it's S level props, weapons, or abilities, they can all change a person's fate. And for such a precious thing, you need 2 of them when you come up. Irene shook her head and said, "Dear strong man, this price is too high, please lower the price." Chen Yang looked indifferent, and said, "Feelings are priceless." Catherine, priceless, what more can you add? Let me redefine the man in the Dragon Kingdom. Finally, life still has a price, because Angel Irene gave 1 A level item, plus 10 B level items. Catherine stood quietly aside, like a maid. No, the look should be removed. Chen Yang talked a lot with this Irene, and finally the two sides reached a preliminary cooperation. Irene smiled and said, "Dear owner of No. 888 Island, I'm very glad to cooperate with you. By the way, can I know your name?" Chen Yang chuckled and said, "Of course, my name is Ace." With a smile in her eyes, Irene said, "I have studied the culture of the Dragon Kingdom, so this is definitely not your name, because it does not conform to the habits of the people of the Dragon Kingdom." Chen Yang asked with a smile, "Is my name that important?" "The name is just a code name." Irene smiled and said, "I have already regarded you as my favorite lover, so I am eager to know your name." While speaking, Eileen's hands had already gently wrapped around Chen Yang's shoulders. The bodies of the two men were almost stuck together. Although Irene's body is a body of light, not a real body, but even Chen Yang does not deny that it is very attractive. If it is not for some objective reasons, then some indescribable descriptions may appear next. Of course, this objective reason cannot be avoided. Because he is afraid of death. However, Chen Yang was finally moved by her tenderness. He took a deep breath and said, "My surname is Zhang, and my first name is Wuji. In fact, I shouldn't have told you my name, because..." Chen Yang took a deep breath, and looked at the sky at 45 degrees with his eyes. "Because my mother said, don't trust women too much, especially beautiful women." When speaking, the emotion is sincere and very deep. Aaron could even feel Chen Yang's heartbeat, fluctuating slightly. The topic of names did not last long. Aaron let go of Chen Yang, and thought in her heart. Just now, I have used the divine grace of the God of Light, which can touch people's hearts and then speak the words in their hearts. This is why she surrounded Chen Yang and put her body close to him. I can indeed feel the change in his heartbeat, and the name Zhang Wuji is also very in line with the habits of the people of Longguo. However, this man is very evil. I cannot guarantee that this time the divine grace has been successful. But, no matter the name is true or false, at least it touched his heart. It seems that the mother in his mouth has left a deep memory in him, and he may be able to use it in the future. After remembering everything in her heart, she said, The content of the cooperation just now has been determined, and we are willing to exchange items with you after the exploration of the ruins is completed. The condition on our side is the S-level shining fruit. That is a fruit blessed by the gods. Once you eat it, you can have a flashing speed. This item can be exchanged through a unique exchange method in this world, and we are guaranteed not to retain any means of ours. Chen Yang nodded and said, I really didn't expect that there would be such a miraculous fruit in this world, it's so yearning, I can't wait. His heart, could it be that what she said was the shining fruit? The shiny fruit is also an elemental devil fruit in the great sailing world. Because his master, General Huang Yuan, implements lazy justice, so there is no particularly shining moment of glory. However, this shining fruit is undoubtedly one of the very powerful fruits. At least in terms of functionality, it surpasses burnt fruits and even magma fruits. According to her words, the god of light also has the ability to purify and improve devil fruits. While Chen Yang was still thinking, Irene said, for more details, Catherine will communicate with you, and it is her honor to have her by your side. Chen Yang said directly, I actually don't like to have a weak existence. Irene chuckled and said, with your powerful strength, you don't have any worries about taking her with you. And you need her to guide you in order to accurately find the location in the ruins. After finishing speaking, she walked close to her again and said, besides, when I'm not around, you can treat Catherine as me. Well, you can do whatever you want. I hope that when you come and move, I will come in real body, respected Your Excellency Zhang Wuji. Catherine, please remember your mission, do you understand? She leaves. The angel Irene left, and Chen Yang snorted directly. Sure enough, this angel is not a good person. When she just left, she was still hinting to herself. It's about making yourself a depraved old slut. However, in this cruel world of killing, I absolutely cannot shake my will. Women will only affect the strength of my punches. In terms of psychology, Chen Yang is still doing a lot of research. When he was an otaku, he had seen a sentence, when you wanted to fall in love, in fact, it was when you wanted to have a physical relationship with the other party. And when you have your first physical relationship, then, you want it countless times. At this point, whether it is male or female, it is actually the same. And when you have a desire in this aspect, then you naturally have a psychological flaw. Therefore, in order to survive, Chen Yang directly chose to let go of such useless emotions and psychology. Even Sister Jianru, Hu Jiqiu, or even the two of them together can't attract him at all. The loopholes in the mind must not be relaxed. Once I become an old color horse, I may be killed. In addition, this female angel has actually cast a spell-like ability on me, and she also needs to know my name, so my worry at the beginning was correct. She, perhaps, possesses the method of using her name to influence you. Catherine walked over silently, lowered her head, looked at Chen Yang, and said in the softest voice, Daddy, what do you want him to do? Her body is very plump, but the clothes are not very tight. She bent down on purpose, hoping to make Chen Yang look over. In fact, Chen Yang did look at it, but his eyes were very indifferent. Chen Yang originally wanted to say, don't bother me, please go away, I will call you when we leave. But after thinking about it, it was too wasteful. Did you get the mission of the system? Without any hesitation, Catherine said directly, yes, I got the task of the system, and my task is to clean up an island that has been occupied by the island of the undead. However, for me, this is not particularly difficult. After all, the strongest undead is now at the level. The reason why she said this was because she wanted to show her worth as much as possible. Daddy, do you have anything else you want to do? I can do anything, I am willing to do anything. Chen Yang nodded and said, well, so to speak, I really need you very urgently at this time. Very urgent. Need me. Catherine's little heart skipped a beat, and she thought, sure enough, is this man unable to resist my temptation? I don't know if this man from the Dragon Kingdom will be sympathetic to others, or like to be rough. 5 minutes later. This man is really rude and incomprehensible. While cursing in her heart, Catherine was carrying a hoe and plowing the fields. It turned out that this man needs to reclaim the land by himself. He directly delineated for himself the back of the island, almost half of the uncultivated wasteland, and let himself do it. Moreover, I also told myself that in order to maintain the nutrition and plantability of the soil, I must not use other 5 stars. Catherine was in a bad mood at the time. I, the human angel chosen by the god of light, a level 15 super beauty, posed a seductive pose to you, and even made it clear that I can let you do whatever you want. I didn't expect you to let me do this. Chen Yong didn't care about Catherine's complaints. He thought in his heart, it's really a wise choice to let this woman cultivate the land. I have to say that women in labor are indeed very beautiful. If, in order to continue to appreciate her beauty, then I can have more islands. Now I have a very good idea, that is, the beast training plan. Although these ferocious beasts cannot be my exclusive pets. However, because there are hairy eggs, I can still tame them. Whether it is food or letting them guard the island in the future, it is a very good choice. Well, this is still the inspiration that the giant rock dragon gave himself. In order to be able to cultivate ferocious beasts, I need to continuously strengthen the island. Of course, this matter has to wait until the woman leaves. In addition, the temperature of the world has begun to rise now. Currently, it's almost 0 degrees. At the lowest point, the average temperature had reached -70 degrees Celsius. In just one day, the temperature actually started to rise so much. That's what happens in this mysterious world. It's going to be night again. Announcement, issued again. Respected island owners, I am very happy to tell you that spring has officially arrived. This is a season full of vitality, whether it is plants or animals, they will grow rapidly. However, be careful, if they grow too fast, perhaps, it is not a good thing. The system's announcement ended, and the chat channel became lively again. Number 9527 went online directly. Whoa, it's not easy for me to live until spring. No, 0410, really, so I think this is a very beautiful spring. No, 1789, is this the 4th and 5th bosses? It's enviable that they can be so leisurely. No, 9527, I feel like you're disgusting me. I'm actually 4th, and that big tongue number 0331 is 3rd. By the way, number 0331, what are you doing? When Catherine saw the news of number 9527, she was suddenly very moved, thinking that this guy who likes big waves might be her true love. Didn't you say that you went to 888 islands? Have you been conquered by the boss? Catherine, I'm about to sing conquer, my old lady was conquered by his hoe. This man is simply a black-hearted capitalist. He is even more irritating than those in our lighthouse country. He actually exploited his wife like this. Unfortunately, she does not want to speak at this time. Firstly, that man will find that he is being lazy, and secondly, he is really ashamed. No, 0386, my beautiful little number 331, spring is here, and my invincible era is coming. When number 0386 was ranked last time, it also ranked 9th. However, currently no one is answering the words of this perverted San. After all, how many people can bear to have a super-friendly relationship with a lizard at every turn? Only perverts can play happily with perverts, but everyone is not. No, 7. I think everyone has completed their tasks, and I will tell you another news, the top 10 of us may meet offline soon. Can I have a face-to-face meeting? So, you can see the boss number 888 soon. Kijong, what is it, can you tell me in advance? No, 7. Actually, it should be almost the same. In a day or so, the top 10 will receive a collective task, which should be the exploration of a ruin. No, 888. Why, you know this. When Brother FA appeared, he immediately got a burst of praise, but unfortunately, number 7 didn't answer this question and chose to dive directly. Chen Yong didn't continue to ask questions, because others didn't say that there must be difficulties. His impression of number 7 was quite good. Angels appeared, and their purpose was for this ruin. Chen Yong called Catherine over. Angel, how did you know that this relic mission is coming? If one side of the faction can know the tasks issued by the system in advance, wouldn't their island owners be very dangerous? Catherine said. I just found out that the relic mission will be the top 10 common mission. 11. Angel Irene, I just know that this relic will appear, because this is the relic of an ancient battlefield, and there is an angel's corpse inside. That's why she asked me to come to you. During the questioning just now, Chen Yang used Longwei. If Catherine lied, her heartbeat and spirit would be abnormal, and she would be directly oppressed by Longwei. 0.0. So, she wasn't lying. And the angel has no way of knowing the assignment, which is finally good news. Catherine looked at Chen Yang's face and found that there was nothing unusual about it. So she said again, this number 7 is also very difficult. Angel Irene once said that there is also a faction behind her. Chen Yang thought for a while and asked, so, I'm the only one who doesn't have a camp? Catherine thought for a while and said, number 7, it is clear that there is support from the camp. Behind me is the God of Light. As for number 410, there should be some, but the camp behind him may also be human beings, and we haven't analyzed him in detail yet. Number 9527, for sure. Also, that perverted San. Listening to the information provided by Catherine, Chen Yang shook his head. Hey, I am the only co-author, relying on my own efforts, I have reached this point step by step. I am actually the only non-related household. Catherine hurriedly said. The God of Light is willing to be your strong backing, and besides, no matter what you want me to do. She wanted to seduce him a little more. But when she thought that this man actually asked her to plow the field instead of choosing to plow herself, she dared not say the next thing. It is acceptable to use a hoe to cultivate the fields, but what if you do more excessive physical work? At this time, Chen Yang suddenly said, about the arrival of spring, do you have any information from the Light God camp? When it came to business, Catherine's spirit returned. She said, according to the information told to me by Angel Irene, in this season, creatures will be crazily promoted. That is to say, in a short period of time, many high-level creatures will appear on our island. So, rapid growth itself is actually a huge danger. Chen Yang nodded and said, okay, I understand. Then, I'll be next. Catherine looked at Chen Yang with great anticipation. Go ahead and plow the fields, I'm going out for a while. The place Chen Yang is going to is the mysterious island. There, it has become the most ideal place for him to level up. Group tasks must be very dangerous, I want to speed up. We agreed to work hard together and make progress together. As a result, you are all related households. Chen Yang is not complaining, but has a sense of urgency in his heart. Become stronger. As soon as she heard that Chen Yang was going out, Catherine was very curious immediately. Daddy, where are you going? Can you let me go together? When she came this time, the main task was not to get the angel's corpse from the ruins. Instead, win Chen Yang to the angel camp, or, can get the secret of Chen Yang becoming so powerful. So, if you can go out with Chen Yang, it will be a very good opportunity. Chen Yang thought about it carefully, and then said, I do have important things for you to do. Catherine, go ahead and plow the fields, and then give me these seeds. This is a very precious seed rewarded to me by the system. When it matures, I can obtain a spiritual fruit that can enhance my physique. This is my core secret, and it is generally believed that I will never tell it. Special seeds. Eat it, directly enhance your physique. Catherine was overjoyed immediately. Wait, after all, don't you still let me farm? So, why am I so happy? Catherine, I have thought about countless things that might happen after meeting number 888, but I never thought that he would keep me tilling the fields. This is really a terrible and ruthless man. It is not uncommon to eat items that can improve physical fitness. The meat of many powerful beasts, this, 633, has this ability. As for these seeds, although he has strengthened them. But in fact, in the survival store, it is also sold. I, Chen Yang, am not lying. This is indeed his secret, just a not so important secret. After finishing speaking, Chen Yang jumped directly into the sea, paying no attention to the existence of this woman. When Catherine saw Chen Yang leaving, she was so angry that she threw the hoe away. Ha, how dare a stinky man ignore my old lady like this, this is simply the greatest insult to me. But, so what, if it was before the meeting, Kai would definitely not be convinced by Chen Yang. I am the owner of an S-level item, and I have received the grace of the God of Light. I am very capitalized. Then, she actually met number 888, and then, her arrogance disappeared. This is a man who made her dare not even raise her hatred. Too strong, really too compelling. Perhaps, this is the true meaning of conquest. Chen Yang once again stepped into the mysterious island. Just stepped into the island, Chen Yang immediately felt that he was being followed by a mysterious will. This frightened him so much that he froze. This feeling of being watched by a mysterious existence is really bad. Fortunately, there was no sound from the other party. Seeing this, the other party just warned him. Come out. Xuanwu was released by him from the exclusive pet space. It is worth mentioning that today's Maodin has really reached level 15. At this level, he has been able to control his body size. Any power, being able to control that is a good thing. Here is your paradise, be careful not to be killed by other creatures instead. Maodin's eyes shone with wisdom, then his nose moved, and he immediately started to act. It's obviously a dangerous place, but your expression that I'm going to cook will make other giant beasts feel very embarrassed. But for a while, your pet has hunted a level 14 giant beast, your experience value has increased, plus 2001. Good guy, what a conscientious little guy, actually started directly. Then, I have to start to act. This time Chen Yang came, not simply to refresh the level. Because for him, a simple level upgrade can no longer meet his needs. This time, he wants to do one more thing, find powerful creatures above level 30. In my current control, where there are 30 level creatures, that's here. Fighting with the four-winged angel Irene, although there is a certain reference value, but it does not give me an accurate concept of a strong person of this level. After all, Irene is just the body of the light element, not the deity. And I only used 50% of my power. Hopefully, I can find a level 30 monster so that I can really feel it. However, I dare not go directly to find that 49th level Xingluo King Kong. He didn't come to seek death. Chen Yang calmed down, and then directly let go of his spirit. In an instant, many auras around him were gradually sensed by him. However, Chen Yang directly skipped these breaths. Okay, can't feel it. Chen Yang opened his eyes, slightly puzzled. It is impossible for this island not to exist at that level. In that case, then so be it. His body took off, and then directly released his dragon power. Clatter. A gust of neither strong nor weak wind spread towards the surroundings. Large tracts of branches were blown away. All of a sudden, the entire island jungle was in a mess. After feeling the dragon's power, a large number of creatures began to flee. That mysterious existence didn't warn me because of this. It seems that he acquiesced in such things happening. Although he released the coercion, he did not destroy the terrain. Finally, whir, a dull and sullen voice suddenly sounded. Sensed, a spirit suddenly appeared, erupting with a volcano in an instant. That mighty and terrifying force charged towards Chen Yang suddenly. Snake, this is a giant python that is not that huge, and its length is only 100 meters. Identification. Species Cave Rock Python, level 29. Characteristics: it can drive the earth element, and it is highly poisonous, and it also has dragon blood. Remarks: its favorite food is dragon, because it can keep getting stronger after eating dragon meat. Chen Yang sighed softly. It's only level 29, which makes me a little disappointed. The death scythe appeared, and an arc flashed, Duan Sheng. Experience value. Plus 26,999. More than 20,000 experience points are still very comfortable. My experience value has reached more than 50,000, and I can upgrade directly. However, there is no need for this right now. Chen Yang once again released Longwei, and gradually improved. Level 29, kill. Level 29 again, beheaded. 7 hours passed, and a total of 5 level 29 monsters were killed. Experience. Level 17, 219,288 50 thousandths. Before I knew it, I already had nearly 220,000 experience points. The speed of this improvement is really too fast. Fortunately, I discovered this practice room at the time, and it was really comfortable. However, it is difficult to find existences above level 30. Obviously, there are already so many level 29 monsters, but not a single level 30 monster. I looked at the time. 21 hours 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Chen Yang was about to call Maodin over, and then went back. However, it was at this time that Maodin's urgent call for help appeared in his mind. Okay, how is this going? Mao Dan looked very anxious. So, what happened? After Chen Yang rushed over, he immediately exclaimed. Identification technique. Species three-headed Komodo dragon. Level 31. Characteristics. Toxic, corrosion, flame, earth. Remarks: this is a very terrifying existence. He is in the metamorphosis period. Once it grows wings, he will be a three-headed flying dragon. Hint: currently, he is being ridiculed. After seeing this message, Chen Yang felt bad. The state of being ridiculed. So, this is Maodin's taunt ability activated. This guy's taunting ability can be so powerful, I didn't expect it. At this time, Mao Dan was really in a mess. He was entangled by a forked black tail. If it weren't for its basalt tortoise shell, which is really very hard, I'm afraid he would be smashed to pieces in an instant. The death scythe slammed the past. It was obviously a surprise attack, but the three-headed Komodo dragon actually noticed it. The moment it killed the past with its own power, its tail deviated directly. So fast. However, Chen Yang is faster. He predicted the opponent's prediction. Thunder fruit, instant. An electric arc flashed across, and Chen Yang appeared again. Cut again. This time, the Komodo dragon's tail was cut off. Go back. Without the restraint, Chen Yang can store small things in the pet-only space. And in such a short time, the severed tail of the Komodo dragon actually reborn. This is the ability to regenerate at super speed. Level 31. Very good. Then, turn on the full state, and the battle begins. 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra. Suddenly, a wave of fiery yang energy emerged. At this moment, Chen Yang's body was bulging, looking extremely domineering and terrifying. Dragon Elephant Wisdom Skill. 4.7 Magma Fruit plus Burnt Fruit. As Chen Yang's state continued to open, his aura became stronger and stronger. The ground under his feet had already begun to melt. However, it was only him who fell, because Chen Yang precisely controlled his power. And then, his coercion has increased 10 times compared to before, and it is still improving. The 3 Komodo dragons that had just regenerated their tails were going to eat Chen Yang's. But at this moment, his tail suddenly hit the ground. A crack appeared in the ground, and he jumped into the crack unexpectedly. Escape. Is it because of Reverse Longway? After killing the giant rock dragon last time, he possessed the Reverse Dragon Might on his body. The role of Reverse Dragon Might is to make other dragon blood creatures kill themselves if they have enough ability. However, if you lack the ability, you will run away immediately. In other words, the 3-headed Komodo dragon at level 31 directly judged that he was not Chen Yang's opponent. Where to go? ... You successfully killed a level 31 creature. Your experience value has increased, plus 49,999. Good guy, close to 50,000. And, double it. Chen Yang is waiting for the prompt, but he felt a strong crisis. Okay, I'm being targeted. Now is the time to fight, and Chen Yang's mental strength is at full strength. But he didn't find anything unusual. Here comes a ruthless fellow. At this moment, Chen Yang's heart skipped a beat. Boom, the sudden heartbeat sounded like a drumbeat. It was also at this moment that Chen Yang really entered a special fighting state. Although the previous level 31 was already very powerful, under the blessing of my strength, it didn't last for too long. When beheading him, I used almost 70% of Li Mirage. Although he estimates it to be 70%, human potential is inherently endless. Generally speaking, the more dangerous it is, the more it will be stimulated. It's in the soil, it's too bad to fight here. Chen Yang has mastered many abilities, but the power of the earth element is not included. Ghost Dog. With a punch, magma burst out. This blow, however, was not used to deal with that terrifying assailant. Instead, it is used to directly smash the surrounding land. On the ground, a column of magma shot out directly, and Chen Yang stepped on the magma. The feeling of danger has not diminished because of this, but it has begun to increase. This shows that the opponent is not in a complete state yet. For the sake of safety, I should create favorable terrain. For example, directly turning the surroundings into magma. In this way, his overall combat effectiveness can be increased by at least 30%. However, when Chen Yang was about to do this, 26 suddenly froze. Oops, that mysterious will appeared. He appeared at his will but didn't attack me directly, obviously to warn me. This is not very good, because the favorable terrain cannot be created. But it's not too bad. He didn't make other actions, so he didn't mean to stop me from hunting that mysterious existence. Forget it, it's my fault. Why would I want to kill that mysterious existence by creating favorable terrain? In the end, it's because I don't feel safe anymore. This time, I came here to test the upper limit of my strength. However, after being targeted by more powerful hunters, they will subconsciously want to create their own favorable terrain. This, of course, is not a bad thing. After all, the purpose of fighting in this world is to stay alive. It is of course the best to be able to create terrain that is beneficial to oneself and then kill the opponent. However, I can't lose my determination to forge ahead because I am too steady. In Chen Yang's view, no matter what kind of mentality it is, it should not be too extreme. Once it is too extreme, you will fall into a certain deformed state of mind, which is not a good thing. Chen Yang ran the 9 Suns Flying Immortal scripture crazily, and his aura accelerated crazily. Exactly, you can try it. The ability to burn fruits and magma fruits can be regarded as the outer power, which can be regarded as a special weapon. And Dragon Elephant Prajna skill, and 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra, are part of him. Of course, the two are actually different. Dragon Elephant Prajna skill is Qi. And 9 Suns Flying Immortals is Soul. When the two are combined, and the two burst out at the same time, you can have a super powerful calendar area. Suddenly, a white net appeared. Spider web. When the spider web approached, Chen Yang punched out. Flame Dragon King. The roaring flame turned into a beam of light and shadow, and rushed out directly. But Chen Yang activated the Flame Dragon King fist that exploded with full force under the 9 Suns Flying Immortal scripture. The 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra, the most intuitive effect is the increase in strength. The power of my punch can reach 5 times. Flame, burning spider silk, this seems more common sense. However, Chen Yang was immediately dumbfounded. My current Flame Dragon King fist is powerful enough to kill level 31 creatures with ease. However, there is no way to destroy this simple spider silk. Fortunately, although it cannot be completely destroyed, a loophole has been opened. Moreover, Chen Yang has the ability of teleportation, disappearing immediately. After Chen Yang dodged a blow, the induction force expanded further. Finally, found it. To his surprise, this spider was too small. Obviously the spider web spit out is so huge that it can envelop a giant beast, but she herself is so low. The spider in his eyes was actually only as big as a fingernail. Identification technique. Species: broodmother spider larva. Level: 34. Characteristics: shadow, agility, poisonous, spider silk entanglement. Remarks: this is a very dangerous creature, try to stay away from it as it is weird and powerful. Broodmother. This is actually a larva. After such a short period of time, Chen Yang suddenly found that his surroundings were already densely covered with cobwebs. He has now been caught in a network, with countless cobwebs intertwined, making it difficult for him to escape. Seeing this scene, Chen Yang couldn't help complaining, does this count as causing ecological damage? This mysterious boss is obviously a bit biased. However, this is just a rant. He is very clear that he cannot change the subjective environment. Now I have 2 choices. The first one, of course, is to escape. I have teleportation, so escaping should not be a problem at this point in time. If you continue to procrastinate until the spider silk completely seals off the space, then maybe it won't be so. And the other thing is that it's directly facing the front. Chen Yang didn't hesitate long, he decided to face this level 34 existence head on. The flames burned up again. Scatter. Although his flame cannot directly burn the spider silk, it can spread continuously, at least it can have a certain sensing ability. The flame is his induction force. Dragon's blood surges, 9 Suns Flying Immortal. A circle of breath surged out from Chen Yang's body again. And then, Thunderbolt emerged and shouted directly. Thunderbird. Chen Yang doesn't know how much power he can release now, whether it has reached 3000 W or not. However, this blow is very powerful. Lightning and flames fuse instantly. It directly turned into a terrifying thunder and fire power. A thunderbird appeared and charged at the little spider fiercely. The little spider flew up instantly. Its size is very small, so the body itself is extremely flexible. Moreover, with the help of silk threads, it can have the same ability as space travel. It is dodging. This at least shows that this blow of mine is extremely threatening to this spider. Very well, this is a reason for me to continue fighting. If this little thing survived his blow directly and was still safe and sound, then he teleported away directly. Don't look back. However, the bad thing is that in this process, the spider silk is still increasing. The surrounding closure is getting stronger and stronger. I must make a quick decision, otherwise it will be too bad for me. So, Juyong Tianlonghua Magma, Sky Thunder and Ice Dragon. Kill. Chen Yang has made up his mind not to be entangled with this little thing anymore. As long as his shot misses, he will escape without hesitation. This is almost the strongest blow that can be unleashed by gathering all my strength together. Even I myself don't know what level the power of this blow can reach. Thunder and lightning, flames, ice, and dragon-shaped true energy were completely blended together at this moment. At this moment, Chen Yang only felt a huge air pressure hitting his body. It was as if his body was going to be exploded directly. So scary. Fortunately, his physical body is too strong now. Even such a terrifying air pressure explosion could not damage him at all. I just feel my stomach is a little bloated, that's all. But in the end, he was safe and sound. What happened next left him speechless. The spider silk dissipated instantly. Powerful force spreads uncontrollably. The fusion of several elements formed a super destructive force that directly swept away everything. Under the impact of this blow, every place Guangyao passed was completely wiped out. This is all caused by me. Chen Yang was stunned. The most powerful meteor volcano he has ever used can cause destructive power, perhaps not even 100% of the current blow. Terrible, terrible. This is definitely a destructive force. Dear Chen Yang, you killed a level 34 broodmother, and your experience value has increased, 72,313. Again, more than 70,000 experience points. Of course, this is not right. The sound of increasing experience points kept ringing in his mind. Obviously, in the terrifying explosion of this blow, large swaths of creatures were directly killed by Chen Yang. Your experience value has increased, plus 1,234. The reminder of experience improvement, at this moment, actually began to swipe the screen in his mind. Just because of his stupid effort, the extra experience points he gained have already reached more than 13W. At this time, the experience value is still rising. Ah, is my move really so violent? At this moment, he finally understood why it would cause such a huge impact on his body. Because, after the elements were compressed and fused, the power that erupted again directly formed a certain chemical reaction that he was completely unable to grasp at present. Then, the power exploded instantly. I remember that in a certain masterpiece, after the fusion of two different fires, the power released was several times, or even dozens of times, that of the original. From this point of view, my attack has the same purpose. However, I never thought that my blow would be so terrifying. Looking at the devastated land, Chen Yang was so excited that tears flowed out. At this moment, he felt an angry gaze looking directly at him. That 1,000-meter-high existence appeared. Star Luo King Kong, level 49. I seem to have set his monkey hair on fire. At this time, Chen Yang was very flustered. Of course, he also understands that this is not some Skull Island. Skull Island, although there is also King Kong. However, there is no such mysterious super existence. However, that move just now was too strong, and it actually set this guy's monkey hair on fire. Moreover, the burning position is a bit embarrassing. It happens to be the position of this Xing Luo King Kong's butt. Really, burn ass. At this moment, Chen Yang froze. This is scary. Little spider, at level 34 is already so scary. This Donkey Kong at level 49 is soaring, can he live? Without further ado, teleport. His body turned into an arc, flashing directly towards the edge of the island. However, roar. A violent roar sounded, and the sound was earth-shattering. Chen Yang's body suddenly appeared in the air, and then fell heavily. With just that utterance, Chen Yang found that his spirit point was dropping crazily. This is more terrifying than the stock market crash. Chen Yang made a somersault and finally avoided the bad luck of being upside down. However, even though he had stood still, his head was still dizzy. It's the same as the hypoglycemia when I suddenly looked up at work after skipping breakfast for a long time. Finally, the spirit stabilized. The dragon balls radiate light, and the dreamy empty flowers also shine with blue light. Keep your spirits up and start rising again. He directly sighed with emotion. This roar, even my thunder fruit skill flickering, can be directly interrupted. It is worthy of being a level 49 super monster, which is too scary. The current self can hardly bear the opponent's roar. Not good. Chen Yang just stabilized himself, then raised his head, and saw that pair of eyes looking straight at him. At this moment, his heart once again fell to the bottom. Oops, this time I really pissed him off. Chen Yang can't forget, at that time, the King Kong just sneezed, and a destructive death light erupted directly. And now, just focus on his furious appearance. Roar. The chimpanzee roared again. This time Chen Yang was already on guard, but he didn't let his mental power drop directly like before. Boom boom boom. Appeared King Kong's signature move, beating his chest. Then, Chen Yang saw a scene that was absolutely unforgettable for him. When that Xingluo King Kong was roaring, the clouds above its head instantly dissipated. The clouds were directly dispersed by his powerful force. After the clouds dissipated, one after another starlight sprinkled down. What's strange is that these starlights are completely impartial and concentrated on him. Among the brilliance, this King Kong seems to exist like a god. Xingluo, King Kong. Chen Yang somewhat understood why this big guy was called Xingluo King Kong. Because he can really borrow and display the power of starlight. Then, layers of apertures appear. And between the apertures, a terrifying ray was formed. Chen Yang's scalp is more than tingling, his heart is exploding. This is aimed at me. He sensed it. This Xingluo King Kong wanted to use this terrifying move to kill him directly. Although a little sad, Chen Yang really thought of a word at this time: nuclear bombs blow mosquitoes. Yes, I am this poor mosquito. A moment ago, he had cast his ultimate move, directly blowing up the little spider at level B4. But the next moment, in front of this level 49 Xingluo King Kong, he became that poor wretch instead. How to do? In the face of such a blow, I can't survive. Can the SS level Dragon Ball defense keep me safe and sound? How to do? Chen Yang's mind was concentrated, and then he thought about various ways to leave. Teleport. Can't continue. This Xingluo King Kong didn't know what kind of power he used, but he actually lost the ability to teleport the thunderous fruit. Elementalize. In the face of such a terrible attack of destruction, can elementalization really escape the fate of death? Sky Dragon Magic's ability to fly. No way, this ray is dead. The coverage is too broad. With my own speed, I'm afraid I can't escape. Could it be that he was really going to die? No, even if I have to die, I, Chen Yang, will not do nothing. So, Chen Yang let out another breath. The trick just now, do it again. Even if it's just to burn your ass again, bored. 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra, Dragon Elephant Wisdom, Burning Fruit, Magma Fruit. All the power began to gather together. That terrible oppressive force appeared again. Just when Chen Yang was about to make a dying struggle, or a dying counterattack, an angry voice sounded in his mind. In the future, you are not allowed to come here again, get out. It is that invincible will. Then, Chen Yang saw a scene of surprise. An invisible big hand appeared, and then, on Xingluo King Kong's huge head, directly bumped a brain. The death rays gathered by Xingluo King Kong, filled with invincible and destructive power, just dissipated. There is only a group of energy light, condensed in the high sky, and slanted away. It was as if this big guy had just burped. Ah! Looking at this scene, Chen Yang was even more shocked. Crazy. This scene horrified him even more than seeing Xingluo King Kong absorbing the energy of the starry sky, and then preparing to release the rays. Such a powerful, terrifying existence, unexpectedly, was stunned by a brain collapse. He witnessed the huge body slowly falling down. Horrible. This is too scary. Well, it's a level 49 beast. Chen Yang's sight has become increasingly faint. It wasn't that he was about to pass out, but that there was a lot of fog on this island. This fog, this waiting for the line of sight, even the spiritual power first explored it. The last picture he saw was a gigantic hand rubbing Vajra's head angrily. According to this method, it is estimated that it can reveal the skin. The existence of level 49 is actually a pet raised by someone else. Then the question arises, who is this terrifying existence? The fog finally swallowed the entire island completely. In other words, Chen Yang was expelled directly. Chen Yang stood on the waves of the sea again. Ha, I survived. The experience of the edge of life and death is really exciting. No wonder, there are many people who like extreme sports. The feeling of alternating life and death will strongly stimulate the nerves and bring them an indescribable pleasure. However, I'm not a person who likes this kind of feeling, so next time, I must be more careful. This time the level 34 broodmother spider's attack was beyond his expectation. Originally, Chen Yang just wanted to try to see if he could encounter a level 31 or level 32 existence. Then run away if you can't beat it. However, the attack comes as soon as it is said. At the end of the day, I'm still too careless after all. I still haven't grasped the balance between stability and self-challenge. Although this balance is very difficult to grasp, it is an inevitable problem. I did a self-examination again, and it took a few minutes to calm down the fluctuations in my heart. Okay, experience improvement is still going on. It seems that the ultimate blow that I just unleashed is really powerful enough. About 10 minutes later, the system's notification sound completely calmed down. This move is too fierce. It seems that this trick has to be given a name. Quote, after thinking about it, it might as well be called the Wrath of the Five Elements Heavenly Dragon. Chen Yang boarded the wave breaker and thought to himself, it seems that it is impossible to come to this island to collect sheep in a short time. But this time the harvest is enough. He glanced at his properties panel. Level 17, 359,286 50,000ths. Unexpectedly, the experience value has reached close to 36W. So scary. This trip was really rewarding. With these experience points, my other abilities can be strengthened. Chen Yang didn't plan to raise his level directly. In this group task, his level of 17 can already stand out from the crowd. In case, the higher the level is, the more difficult the task will be, that's a big deal. With 360,000 experience points, there are 3,600 enhancement points. Save another wave. After reaching 4,000 points, spend all of them. Chen Yang's current SS level items are only Dragon Balls. And this Dragon Ball has indeed brought him great benefits. The effect of SS level items is 10 times or even 100 times that of S level items. 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra. To enhance the double SS level, how many enhancement points are needed? 10,000 points. 100W experience points. Chen Yang fell silent. What about Dragon Elephant Prajna Technique? 3,500 points. Cool. After the strengthening is completed, there are still 100 strengthening points left. This is very comfortable. Enhancement completed. Deduction promise to get the 9S level exercise. Han Wulong Shanggong, accept the enhancement point 3,500. Characteristic 1. The extremely powerful technique can condense the true shadow of a dragon and an elephant, bursting out with unimaginable power. Characteristic 2. Dragon Elephant 1. When the transformation of skills is mostly based on knowledge, the amplitude directly improves physical fitness, spirit, strength and many other physical fitness. Characteristic 3. Form the guardian force of dragon and elephant, and burst out the strongest characteristic guardian. Looking at these messages, Chen Yang's heart began to get agitated. As expected of an SS level skill. Powerful. It is too powerful. At this moment, he already felt that his body had undergone tremendous changes. The body is directly transformed by a mysterious force. Obviously, the muscle content has not changed, and the body shape has not changed. However, he could feel that his strength was increasing dramatically. His mind became clearer, the mental radiation became farther, and the induction became more subtle. The transformation has only just begun, and it is already so violent. 5-dimensional value attribute. Power, 4,899. Physical, 4,961. Agile, 4975. Energy durability, 5520. Good guy, it's actually neat and tidy, directly adding 1000. The extent of this increase is really too exaggerated. Fierce, really fierce. Chen Yang's body was suspended in the air. Powerful energy is slowly condensing along with his mind. He, very slowly, was breathing according to a certain frequency. Finally, an illusory shadow slowly appeared. That is a dragon. However, it is not the appearance of the Western dragon, but the real Eastern dragon. Although, at this moment, it still looks very empty and indifferent, but if there is a powerful existence to sense it, you will find that everything about this dragon is so real. The dragon shadow circled slowly, and the waves were directly pushed away. Where Chen Yang wants, this dragon will go. This newly condensed dragon is almost my battle clone. He can be said to be his third arm and fourth leg. Moreover, powerful, terrifying, even immortal. As long as his true self is still there, this dragon shape can be condensed at any time. Now, I have obtained a lot of dragon blood. If I can harvest the soul of the ancient Colossus, or the blood, then I can also condense the shadow of the Colossus. Once the two phantoms gather together, then the power of the dragon and the elephant will become one, and my strength will be even stronger. However, it's meaningless to think about it now. Compared with dragon blood, the ancient Colossus is more difficult to find. Ordinary elephants do not have the fierce blood of ancient mythical giant elephants at all. They are already mediocre mortal creatures, and only the supergiant elephant with mythical combat power can have the terrifying power to break everything. Unfortunately, my strengthening points are still insufficient. If I can strengthen the 9 Suns Flying Immortal Scripture, and reach the SS level, it will probably benefit me even more. However, people can't be too greedy and leave. After finishing speaking, Chen Yang turned into a streamer of light and disappeared immediately. Chen Yang left, and the fog on the island dissipated immediately. It's as if this dreadful season never happened. What an interesting human kid. If I hadn't known him a long time ago, I would have thought he was a dragon incarnation, hey. However, this kid is using my place as a place to pluck wool, and he is addicted to it. Xingluo King Kong slowly appeared, covering his head, the airflow from his nostrils turned into Luyun. Obviously, this King Kong was very upset. Why, I just slept with my butt nestled on the island. Then, one of your flames burned my ass directly. He, you don't need to be like this, left and right, your vitality is strong, your hair grows fast, and you won't be bald. What's more, this little guy is only level 17, and his flames can already hurt you. Doesn't this surprise you? Chen Yang returned to Island 4447, and Hu Chu was there. I don't know where to take the risk. Recently, Hu Jiqiu seldom appears, which shows that he is working very hard on his own cultivation. Chen Yang went back and forth again and returned directly to Island 888. When he came back, the fields on Island 888 were almost fully reclaimed. It can be seen that this woman is really very attentive. Catherine said aggrievedly, Daddy Fa, you are finally back, and I have completed your task. Where did you go? Chen Yang just said, if you don't know the things you shouldn't know, don't inquire about them, it won't do you any good. Kathleen, this incomprehensible guy. Chen Yang asked again at this time, what will happen to the team mission, your angel, has there been any new information for you? Catherine's gaze flickered slightly, and she thought, this guy, why does he know everything? In fact, the angel Irene did send a new message. Irene's original words were, if this hateful liar doesn't take the initiative to ask, you don't need to say it. However, if he asks, you don't need to hide it, just tell him directly. Irene used the word, liar. Obviously, the name, Zhang Wuji, must be fake. This man successfully deceived the angel. He obviously looks like such an honest and dull man, but he hides so many tricks. However, in Catherine's view, this kind of man is more attractive. An honest man who has no thoughts, dies quickly and has no fun. If it is too fried and slippery, you can tell it is a bad kind at a glance. This kind of werewolf with great wisdom and stupidity is truly invincible. Catherine said, the first group task was originally a task issued by the world to cultivate our top 10. So, theoretically speaking, this mission may be difficult, but death is absolutely impossible. In addition, everyone will receive benefits. As for what you can get, it depends on your luck and strength. This is also the meaning of striving for ranking. The first time the ranking was announced, a batch of supplies was directly distributed, but this time it was an opportunity. Chen Yang nodded in understanding. So, what variables are emerging now? Our camp of the God of Light has received information that the humans in Area A5 will enter this ruins through a secret passage. This is the first time Chen Yang heard news from outside the A1 area. Area A5, is it any different from us? He was very curious and wary. Although the other party is also a human being, not all human beings are united as one. Look, isn't there someone in front of me who has defected to the Camp of Light? Bright Camp, to put it nicely. Not really alien. Catherine said. The world area in Area A5 has been controlled by the Hell side. It doesn't mean that all the people have joined the Hell camp. However, the strongest group is almost the followers of the Hell camp. Chen Yang thought for a while and asked, I remember you said last time that our top 10 in District A1 are all tied to other factions, right? Catherine shook her head, and said, hooking up is completely different from joining the camp. Just like me, I seem to respect the angel Irene, but I have an independent personality. The Light God faction benefits me, so I will do things for him. For example, she asked me to approach you and collect information about you, mainly because of my own willingness. If I don't want to, I can't be forced. CG. Yang was taken aback, and asked, do you want to? Catherine smiled and said, that's right, for someone as strong as you, of course I want to come and see. Chen Yang, you were obviously very unconvinced at first, don't lie to me. Catherine, it's not that I'm ignorant. Anyone, after seeing you, will be moved. In the words of your dragon kingdom, it is the spring tide. Chen Yang, you know a lot. It's true what I say. I can have your baby right now if you want. Having a strong partner is a pursuit engraved in the genes of beautiful women, unless the genes are mutated. My lord, are you willing to resonate with my genes? Charming and enchanting appeared on her face, and then she teased Chen Yang in a playful manner, I can do any pose. Chen Yang, as expected of the old Siji from the west, even I was a little surprised when I started driving. However, this statement doesn't make any sense to me. Moreover, in the era when there was no crossing, in our country, it would be 404. Whether this woman is true or false, I have never had the idea of having a mixed-race child so far. No, I will not be dominated by such base desires at all. Chen Yang stopped Catherine and said, continue to get back to the topic. Then, did Angel tell you more information about Area A5? For example, how many people are there in the current A5 area? Their strongest, what level they have reached, and their purpose this time. Catherine's face was still a little flushed, she was so excited just now. However, now she has controlled her emotions well and returned to the main topic. The appearance of A5 district was at least decades earlier than our A1 district. According to Angel Irene, there are already more than 50 humans over there. Hearing this sentence, Chen Yang's eyes flashed with divine light. Level 50. Not long ago, that level 49 star-piercing gold made him feel the real horror of life and death. He couldn't help asking, what will a human being be like after reaching level 50? Catherine smiled bitterly. I don't know. Once it exceeds level 50, it seems that the level of life has completely changed, but she didn't tell me more. Because I can only be regarded as a peripheral member of the God of Light now. However, she said that although people in Area A5 have found a way to enter the ruins, once their level exceeds level 20, they cannot enter it. Moreover, the number of existences of this level is not too much, maybe only 1 or 2. As for more information, I don't know. Chen Yang thought for a while and said, go and share this information with everyone. Chen Yang knew that when this matter entered the chat channel, other people would be very surprised. However, this is not in his consideration. What he thinks now is, since the people in Area A5 can enter Area A1, why can't I go there? Once this idea pops up, it is irresistible. The me now, in Area A1, is almost invincible. This is not Chen Yang's arrogance, except for that mysterious island, he has not found any place that could threaten his life. Originally, that mysterious island was his practice room, where he could quickly accumulate experience and then continue to improve. But now, that mysterious will has closed the island and put itself on the blacklist. Maybe there will be places like this in District A1, but it's too hard to find. The last time it was discovered was purely accidental. Spring is here, and powerful beings have indeed appeared in the AL area one after another. However, the emergence of this kind of life is far from satisfying my appetite. Don't talk about yourself, even Mayodan is starting to dislike him now. In order to protect most of the island owners, the difficulty of Area A1 has increased, and it cannot be too fast. Therefore, perhaps it is a very good choice to enter other areas and upgrade. After all, there are already level 50 humans, so the monsters over there will definitely be stronger. That way my experience can take off. Dear 888, the group mission is about to start. Dear island owner Chen Yang, you will be teleported to the mysterious ancient ruins. Your task is to find a broken sword in the ruins and bring it back. Tip: during the mission, your island will not be threatened by any means. Reminder: during the mission, killing the island owners in the same area will also increase the crime value. As soon as he got the reminder, Chen Yang's surface was wrapped by a light curtain. He glanced at it, and so did Catherine next door. Then, the teleportation is triggered. When Chen Yang came back to his senses again, he found himself in a place full of musty and rotten smell. Catherine is not here. Everyone sent it together, but now, she is not by her side. This shows that the location of the transmission is different. Dear Chen Yang, the temporary team channel has been opened now. Dear Chen Yang, it has been detected that there is an invasion of foreign forces in the ruins battlefield, please unite with each other. In the team channel, the first to speak was Catherine. No, 0331. Daddy FA, where are you? Can you tell me your location? I want to hug your thigh. Number 9527. You were actually conquered by Brother FA. Don't you always like to kick his platform? Other island owners also spoke one after another. Express curiosity, how did you conquer? This is really curious, not just eating melons. Number 0331, but the third in the rank list of A1 area. She once claimed that she is also the owner of S-level items. And for number 888, the hostility is very great. Last time, not long ago, she told everyone on the channel that she was going to find trouble with number 888. But now, she is actually the first to hug thigh 888. No, 0331, because FA Daddy is strong and fierce, and all kinds of postures are very fierce. I have been conquered from body to mind. Chen Yang glanced at the team channel, looked at the information, and he went online to speak directly. No, 888. Everyone, my mission is to find a broken sword. Previously, number 0331 has told everyone that this ruin has already been invaded by outsiders, right? He was not interested in teasing these people, and cut directly to the topic. No, 9527. Actually, I am very interested in the detailed process of how to conquer No. 0331. No, 410. Although I am also interested in gossip, it is important to complete the task after all, and my task is also to find the broken sword. No, 9527. Hey, to be honest, I don't even know if I can get out alive, of course I have to hurry up and enjoy myself. Although his words were teasing, they actually still made people feel very heavy. After all, this number 9527 was ranked 4th in strength last time. Number 410. You say that, it makes me feel a lot of pressure. No, 889. That's right, I'll definitely survive. 4447. I think so too. Number 9527. Wait, I found a problem. Number 0331 was conquered by FAJ. 889 and 4447 are also FAGE's woman. Hiss. The next ranking selection will not only include FAJ, but also FAGE's women. Number 8989. I turned out to be a man, this. Chen Yang simply turned off the chat channel directly. He originally wanted to share some information, at least to make it easier for everyone. Although he has always been a lone ranger, he doesn't like to see people in his camp get hurt. Forget it, at present, we can only rely on ourselves. I can contact Girl Jianru and Chocho on the team channel. The two of them were also brought into the top 10 rankings by myself, and this time they were also sent over. Inside the team channel, Huang girl shouted directly, "Big brother, he's coming in too." Hu Jiqiu, I'm here too, where are you? I'll come to you, or I'll tell you the situation around me and wait for you at the same place. The little girl is still so careless, but Hu Jiqiu seems to be a little colder than before. However, it can still be seen that she still trusts herself very much. Chen Yang said, try to describe the surroundings in detail as much as possible. If you confirm that the surroundings are safe, then wait for me where you are. Hu Jiqiu, okay. Jianru, big brother, you can just throw something at random, just throw a stone to ask for directions, and you will definitely find me. Chen Yang, is it all right? So, Chen Yang really did it. Try it. Anyway, it's aimless, so I believe in Huang's luck. Chen Yang went directly. In just 20 minutes, Chen Yang saw Jianru squatting on the side of the road. Ah, big brother. After seeing Chen Yang, Jianru rushed over directly. Long time no see, big brother, big brother. She hugged Chen Yang directly, and then floated up with Chen Yang. Chen Yang laughed and said, stop calling, big brother brother, you look like a little chicken. Jianru hugged Chen Yang tightly, and said, no, I'm going to call you big brother. Chen Yang smiled and said, when I grow taller, I also grow up. This is really very strange. Obviously, we have not been separated for 2 days. This girl, unexpectedly, has really grown taller and grown up. Not in the mind, but in the physical sense. Jianru said with a smile. Huo took me to a place, I picked up a fruit, and after eating it, my physique changed. Chen Yang was curious and asked, what kind of fruit do you eat? It seems to be called Zuguo, but it's delicious anyway, it seems to be S grade, it seems to have 2 S. It's a pity, I originally wanted to save some for the big brother, but the remaining spiritual fruit turned into a ray of light and entered through my nasal cavity. Wow, Chen Yang, how many levels are you now? Jianru, it's level 17, should I show you my attributes? Chen Yang directly shook his head and said, no need, no need. Don't show the 5-dimensional value to anyone in the future. However, this girl actually directly reached level 17. This, Chen Yang did not expect. Big brother, I'm good. Hehe, not really, Yan Yan's father is very, very powerful, he sent me some dying monsters for me to make up, my level is just like that of. People are cheating. Chen Yang, co-author, if you save a bird casually, there is still the ancestor of the bird. Let's go, let's find Sister Chocho, I'll ask the way. Jianru once again used the skill of throwing stones to ask for directions. Big brother, are there any people from Area A5 this time, do you want to meet them? Chen Yang said, well, I really have some thoughts. I also want to know what level the human beings in other regions have reached now. Of course, I have some other ideas. The two walked for a while, and Chen Yang's spirit suddenly sank. This is being watched. Chen Yang looked at Jianru, and said in his heart, this girl who opened her mouth is really fierce. Roro, wait for me here. Jianru is very smart, she immediately knew that someone was after them. But this time she said, big brother, look at me. Jianru's body slowly flew up, and then a wooden stick appeared in her hand. She opened her mouth softly and shouted, Guofeng. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept out. Then, thunder. As a result, thunder and lightning also appeared directly. The wind and thunder surged, and a person was directly blasted out in a slightly dark place. This is. Item, the weather is great. Grade. S. Description. With the ability to manipulate the weather, it is a very good prop. Also, is the weather really good? This item was originally a weapon designed by a certain big nose in the world of great navigation. Chen Yang was still emotional at the time, this is simply the power of the plug-in level. A weather stick is tantamount to a pirated fruit ability user. Of course, this thing has been upgraded in the hands of Huang. 0. Jianru suddenly exclaimed, it's human. At this time, the other party was also looking at the two of them. Jianru's blow just now did not cause him much damage. Of course, it's not that Jianru's strength is not good, the main reason is that she has a soft heart, so she acts gently. Otherwise, according to the power that S-level items can exert in the hands of level 17, it is absolutely impossible to have only this power. The man opened his mouth slowly and said, "Human friends in Area A1, it's a pleasure to meet you. My lord, Park Jawi, is also a human from Blue Star." He slowly revealed his face. Frankly speaking, he is really a beautiful man, except that his face is too fair and a little thin. I don't know the names of the two friends. As he spoke, he jumped down and walked towards Chen Yang and Jianru very relaxedly. Whether it's talking, manners, or eyes, there is nothing wrong with it. Even, it gives people an urge to make friends with him. Chen Yang nodded and said, "My name is Zhang Wuji." Jianru, "Hey, did you change your vest again? Wasn't it ace? This is my wife, Zhou Zhiro. It turns out that they are friends of Longguo, ha ha ha, nice to meet you. I'm from Area A5, but don't worry, we don't have any hostility towards you this time. I can swear to the great Wuxian Wang Li." Jianru nodded immediately. Chen Yang also showed a bright smile, and then stretched out his hand. "I'm already level 17, I don't know what level you are, brother." Pu Jiwi was not surprised that Chen Yang would take the initiative to report his grade and stretched out his hand. Coincidentally, the current me should only be level 17. Since you choose to believe me, then we will be brothers from now on. Chen Yang nodded and said, "Speaking of brother, I suddenly miss my old brother a little bit." As soon as the voice fell, a flame had already burned directly. The mighty flames erupted in an instant, directly devouring this man named Pu Jiji. My old brother contributed a lot of experience points to me at that time. Pu Jiji's body continuously released black air, and the flames of Chen Yang began to collide continuously. Pu Jiwi, hee, you despicable dragon countryman. Chen Yang, small. Chen Yang shook his head helplessly, and complained. It can be said the other way around, and it is still so righteous, it is worthy of stealing people from the country. Sometimes, you really have to give in, because people's thick skins are taken for granted. In short, smelly and shameless. In fact, at the very beginning, someone said that everyone is human. Although before entering this world, they did have their own nationalities. However, here, there is only one identity, human. This idea is very good, and it makes sense. However, reality is never so ideal. Chen Yang is more willing to believe in one sentence, some humans' bad roots are engraved in genes. Just like the man in front of me, who ran to Rongguo. Obviously he came here with hostility from the very beginning, but now he still has the face to say such shit directly. If he really came here with good intentions, Jianru needed to use the power of wind and thunder to force him out in the first place. Who are you kidding? It's too much to say a word. Hit. The black energy on Pu Jiji's body became heavier and heavier, and gradually, a phantom appeared behind his body. Hey, Dish in A1 area, I really thought that your level is the same as mine, so you can fight me. You may not know that the level can be forcibly lowered through some special means. But my basic 5-dimensional value is definitely not comparable to yours. This is a sense of superiority in his bones, but it also brings an indescribable enjoyment. He continued to ramble. However, I'm curious about the current information in your A1 area, so let me devour your soul. Evil Ghost Mark, Soul Devourer. The phantom behind his body has already rolled towards Chen Yang. This evil ghost phantom itself is actually a terrifying existence as high as level 22. It's no wonder he is so unscrupulous. What kind of powerful people can really be born in a district that has only been born for 10 days? Level 20 is already enough to crush, right? Besides, I'm still level 22. I directly devoured the souls of the men in the Dragon Kingdom, and then did something that made me feel happy with the women in the Dragon Kingdom. Under extreme circumstances, many people's inferiority will be stimulated. What's more, his roots are inherently inferior. At this time, Chen Yang was actually very speechless. It turns out that it's not that the author doesn't use his brain when writing a novel. But in reality, too many people are like this bird. It can only be said that fiction comes from reality. He said, "Oh, I still agree with what you said at the beginning. The basic 5-dimensional value is beyond your comparability. Power, like a storm, blows and sweeps towards him. The black air is the so-called evil ghost mark. It looks like it's just a matter of time. However, Chen Yang has seen big scenes. He is the man who managed to survive under the monster of level 49. In his eyes, this breath was not even comparable to Maodin's bad breath. Just like you, I don't even bother to pretend. Level 22. Oh, crap. A flame emerged out of thin air and landed on the evil ghost in an instant. Without any struggle, the evil ghost dissipated directly. Park Ji-hai, she was immediately stunned. This, how is it possible, how is it possible? Seeing that his evil ghost mark was wiped out, Pujiji's eyes popped out, and his body trembled continuously. In order to achieve the effect of the lion fighting the rabbit with all his strength, he directly used his strongest means. This is his first battle to open the door, it must be domineering and mighty. Of course, he was also afraid that he would overturn the car. But, he never thought of it. How could a human in the newborn zone possess such terrifying power? But at this moment, the flames had already spread, directly entangled his body. The scorching heat caused him pain, but the flame had clearly surrounded him, but it didn't burn directly. Pujiji feels that now is the meat on the grill. Although the flames did not burn directly on his body, under the high temperature roasting, the fat in his body began to flow out. Perhaps, before long, he will become a living barbecue jerky. As for his own defensive power, in front of the flames, it was like inferior toilet paper. Chen Yang said, "Do you know why I didn't kill you directly?" Hu Jihui was sweating profusely, half of it was from being frightened. And half, it was served hot. Hu Jiji now wants to understand, this is undoubtedly a super terrifying existence. Ridiculous, I overestimated my capabilities, and delivered it to my door. He bit the bullet and said, "Do you want to ask me about RA5 area information?" I will tell you everything I know. In terms of betraying his teammates, he is professional and has no hesitation at all. Sure enough, the inferiority cannot be concealed. This time, there are also 10 strong people who enter the A5 area of the ruins. But, unfortunately, they are not the top 10 in the A5 area, but the 10th from the bottom. After listening to his story, Chen Yang complained directly, the 10th from the bottom. This familiar plot feeling. When reading novels before, the protagonist of this world has obviously raised his strength to a certain level. But at this time, a strong man who claims to be a high-level world will pop up and pretend for a while. Then, after being defeated by the protagonist, he told the protagonist that he was just trash in that world. A real strong man is like a god. Unexpectedly, this kind of familiar, old-fashioned, but rubbish plot was actually encountered by myself. However, according to the current development of the world, there is indeed no way to do this. District A1 is a rebirth area. The development time is not as good as others. It is normal to be bullied. So, how many humans are there in your world? Pujiji was taken aback for a moment, and then said, "If there are humans without red names, then including me, there are less than 30 people left. Counting the red name, then there are at least 10 humans in our world." After hearing this, Jianru was surprised and said, "Ah, you still have this integrity." Seeing the guy sell teammates and surrender so skillfully and swiftly, she thought this guy was an insignificant waste. But they didn't expect that he was actually so high-spirited. It's really unexpected that Jian Sheng can still keep his integrity as a human being. Jian Sheng admires him a little bit. However, Chen Yang ruthlessly put it bluntly, "Isn't it because I don't have the power to look at you?" This sentence directly angered Pujiji. He roared, "Fart. So there is still one." Once this is said, it is almost tantamount to saying it clearly. It turned out that in Area A5, there were quite a few people who defected to other camps. So, some powerful camps even adopted the selection system, and Park Ji-hai lost. I've told you everything I know. Please, 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 please don't kill me. Chen Yang, as expected, did not kill him. Although, beheading the humans in the A5 area will not be punished by the crime value. However, there is also no gain in experience points. I can promise not to kill you, but you must return to Area A5 immediately. When the other party heard it, it was like receiving amnesty. Yes, yes, I will go back immediately, thank you, respected Dragon Kingdom powerhouse. He thought this was the end of the matter. However, Chen Yang suddenly asked, so, tell me, how do you want to go back? This. Chen Yang wanted to go to Area A5, which he had planned from the very beginning. This is the real reason why Park Jiji is not killed. Hu Jiji's complexion drooped immediately, and he said, I can't return immediately, I have to wait for the call. Oh, so, you were cheating just now. Actually, you were thinking of looking for an opportunity, and then laying a black hand on me and killing me directly, right? I really didn't. Hu Jiwi didn't feel Chen Yang's murderous intent. However, this is not necessary anymore. For him, even just a look from Chen Yang is enough to put him in a desperate situation of death. Chen Yang is definitely not someone he can match. The moment the other party changes his mind, he can kill himself. He begged again, I still have value, please don't kill me. I just want to survive, I just want to take the opportunity to escape, I don't want to plot against you. Absolutely not. Chen Yang thought for a while, then nodded. Well, you're right, you didn't intend to kill me yourself. He seemed to be hesitating, but finally made the decision. He waved his hand and said, forget it, let you go. After speaking, he took Jian Sheng with him and left straight away. Hu Jiji looked at the backs of the two of them leaving, and immediately shouted. You won't let other people come and kill me. The two drifted away, and no one answered him at all. This made him completely forced. Actually, did you really let me go like this? Narrow escape, let him whole. Could this person be the #1 powerhouse in Area A1? As soon as he thought of this, his heart couldn't help but jump 5.0. The top 3 powerhouses will be rewarded. If you can take him down, I will send it directly. At this moment, I can no longer contain my inner thoughts and desires. If I did, I'm afraid, I'm enough to own an SS level item. Even in the A5 area, SS level items are scarce. At present, it is only heard that those upper level figures who have reached level 35 or above are able to master the same. Even if you just provide information, you can get a lot of benefits. Yes, people in our kimchi country are not greedy. For me, as long as I can get his intelligence rewards. Now, come directly to your teammates. Jian Ru quietly asked Chen Yang. Big brother, you just left a mark on him, are you going to fish? She is already very familiar with Chen Yang and knows his personality. Big brother is not a cruel and bloodthirsty person, but he is not an indecisive person either. If the person from kimchi country was sincere from the beginning to the end, Chen Yang big brother should really let him go. Unfortunately, he showed a little malice. Then it is doomed to die. Chen Yang nodded and said, anyway, the ones in Area A5 are all rats. Just kill these rats. Chapter 91. Chen Yang was very straightforward, he said directly. For us at this moment, as long as it is an intruder, it is the enemy by default. Since they are already enemies, why are you being so polite? It's just that since we are randomly assigned when we teleport, then the other party should also be like this. After all, if the opponent's ability is really strong enough to affect the teleportation mechanism, there is no need to be so troublesome. This guy definitely wants to kill us. According to my judgment, there may be rewards and other mechanisms after killing us. So, 99% of the time, he will call someone over. After listening to Chen Yang's analysis, Jian Ru kept nodding, and then said with great admiration. Oh, I see, it is indeed Chen Yang big brother. You're so smart, I didn't even think about it that much. Chen Yang touched her little head and said. Actually, you are also very smart, but you are too lazy to think so much. Jian Ru girl is very smart, but she is a little lazy, and she doesn't want to think about many things. Well, just being lazy. However, this girl's European imperial luck is really invincible. Although she is lazy, her strength has always been triumphant. But in terms of level, they are not even behind him. Wu Huang's unique luck has been verified once again. Sister Chocho. After Jian Ru saw Hu Jiqiu, she immediately rushed over. Chocho, this time we met people from Area A5, they will launch an attack at any time, so be vigilant. although Chen Yang is confident that he can destroy the opponent directly. However, it is still not careless to be cautious. He took a look at Hu Jiqiu by the way. A little taller than the previous 26 days, and also became thinner. However, her spirit was even stronger. At the same time, the gaze became sharper. Hu Jiqiu took the initiative to talk about his own situation. I have already mastered the Zanpakudo's swastika ability quantitatively and also awakened Zanpakudo. Of course, during this period of time, I also found the inheritance of the swordsman of the Dragon Kingdom, so my combat effectiveness has improved a lot. The current Hu Jiqiu is level 15. However, her combat effectiveness has obviously undergone a huge transformation. Sure enough, although I can take off with experience by following my side, but I can grow better by being alone. She is very cold and arrogant now, maybe it is because of the swordsman's inheritance that she has become a real swordsman. In addition, Chen Yang discovered that her true core strength began to separate from the Zanpakudo swastika. Obviously, she also found a more suitable development route for herself. Suddenly, Hu Jiqiu lowered his head and stepped to Chen Yang's side, and said very seriously, "By the way, what I said before always counts, my big boss, you can do whatever you want." This level of teasing made Chen Yang blush. He said calmly, "I'm in the ruins now, don't talk about these useless things." Hu Jiqiu pursed his lips and said, "It's still the same as before, just like a cold stone, boring." However, that's good too. This shows that what the big horse said is indeed bragging. Let me just say, it's impossible for her to seduce you. It turned out that this girl was deliberately verifying this just now. It's all right now, she got the answer she wanted, and she became very happy, as if she was dancing lightly. Hu Jiqiu walked for a while and asked, "Big brother, do you think there will be high-level monsters in this ruin?" Chen Yang nodded and said, "There must be some, and I guess there are quite a few. Look, isn't this already here?" About 5 minutes later, a giant reptile appeared. This kind of reptile is a bit like an ant, but it is far more ferocious and terrifying than an ant. Bright red body, crawling organs like steel knives. Identification technique. Blade blood ant, level 17, social monster, very fierce. Chen Yang looked forward and said, "Look, isn't this coming to life?" Upon hearing this, Hu Jiqiu was immediately dumbfounded. It's not that I'm afraid of these things, but just after I finished speaking, these creatures came to my door. This is quite a coincidence. Chen Yang chuckled and said, "You don't even think about who is the person standing next to you." Hu Jiqiu could only give a wry smile, and then said. She volunteered and said, "Big brother, share this insignificant experience with me." But after a while, Hu Jiqiu put the knife back into its sheath and came back. She smiled and said, "It's solved, level 17 monsters only have that amount of experience, if there are level 20 monsters, that's fine." As soon as Hu Jiqiu finished speaking, he saw Chen Yang looking at him with a half-smile. She realized something immediately. In the depths of the ruins, red lights flashed one by one. After a cursory look, Hu Jiqiu found at least dozens of blade blood ants coming towards this side. I forgot that Roro is here. With Ruru, she simply can get what she wants. As soon as he finished speaking, groups of blade blood ants crawled over. Among them, the most powerful blade blood ant has even reached level 29. This was beyond what Hu Jiqiu could handle. Chen Yang patted her on the head and said with a smile, "It's okay, let me do it." While talking, he has started the team experience sharing mode. Flame Dragon King Fist. The terrifying flames pushed forward directly, sweeping away everything. In the face of Chen Yang's absolute power, monsters of this level have absolutely no ability to stop them. Kill as many as there are. This is another tens of thousands of experience points to start with. Even if the experience points are shared in the team mode, there are still many. Let's go, there are so many monsters in this place, it seems that something is in there. When Chen Yang was pushing Hu Jiqiu and Jian Ru inside, Catherine was in trouble. She met a strong person in the A5 area. Today's Catherine is level 15, but because of the angel's blessing, her real combat power has actually reached level 20. However, she happened to meet her opponent. The person he met in the A5 area was a powerful human who had joined the undead camp and reached level 18. She and the other party are mutually beneficial, but their level is not as good as the other party's, and their hard power is also a little bit worse. Fortunately, Catherine's angel wings have the ability to fly, so she escaped the catastrophe. No, 0331. Everyone, I met a 18th level person from A5 who joined the undead camp, and now I know that A5 has launched a hunting mission for us. No, 9527. You can't even beat the other party. Then what should I do? Am I going to be completely cold? His overall strength is not as good as that of Catherine. Catherine is no match for anyone else, much harder. Number 7. Where are you now? Can you describe your current location as much as possible, and see if I can help you there? No, 0331. Woo LLLLLLLJSBABRALISISTISIS. Catherine sent, hey, in the group, and then disappeared directly. Chen Yang didn't watch the chat channel because he thought it was unnecessary. There is obviously a huge gap between the current self and other island owners. Hu Jiqiu happened to watch it, and she said with a smile, "Big brother, your big wild horse is begging you for help, and even sent you a beep 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 request, why don't you go and save her?" Chen Yang said, "There is no need for this. This woman is guarded by angels, so she cannot die. Do you see the big pit ahead?" Jian Ru blinked her eyes and said, "Ah, there's such a strong black air over there." If she hadn't stood by Chen Yang's side, she would have even wanted to escape. The broken sword should be inside. Let's go, Mao Dan, you open the way. The Maodin was released. This guy first expressed his miss to Jianru and Hu Jiqiu, and then directly opened the way. At this moment, his body is about the size of an ordinary tortoise, but he moves like a super tank. Hu Jiqiu looked at Mao Dan, who was pushing away, and was stunned. "Are you already this strong?" She felt that she had improved a lot. Although it was impossible to catch up with Chen Yang's footsteps, she should be able to see a little bit of Chen Yang's current position, right? However, she now finds that she can't even compare to the other party's pet. While walking, Chen Yang was also looking around. It's getting weirder and weirder, it's worthy of being an ancient battlefield. Most places are ruins. However, he actually saw some bones. The skeleton is very huge, but it is still humanoid. I don't know what kind of war has happened here, but it can be turned into this look. Mao Dan is fighting ahead, and Chen Yang can receive experience points from time to time. Sure enough, in order to take care of other island owners, the level of monsters in this place is generally not high. So far, the most powerful one is only level 25. This has strengthened my determination to step into other regions ahead of schedule. They soon reached the entrance of the ruins. "Fat Daddy, help me." A hurried voice came, but Catherine waved her angel wings and leaned towards Gong. I have to say that her appearance when flying is very attractive. "Father, here I come. I helped you lure people from Area A5 over." Chen Yang immediately discovered that there was indeed a shadow chasing behind her. Catherine has angel wings, and the other party can turn into a ghost. Although this speed was much slower, it was able to lock onto Catherine all the time. Seeing this scene, a fire dragon suddenly appeared in Chen Yang's eyes. In an instant, the flames burst out. Catherine's are freaking out. This Chen Yang is simply ruthless. Although everyone has not reached the level of negative distance communication, but my mother has already given you so many hints. It's because you don't want to. Now, you actually want to kill me directly. You are too outrageous. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the fire dragon suddenly turned a corner. Chen Yang looked at Catherine and said, "I didn't expect you to lure me here instead. By the way, you are an angel. It seems that you have a good idea. Those in the undead camp should like angels very much, right?" Catherine looked at Ao Yan with a smirk in her eyes, and suddenly froze all over. She smiled and asked, "Respected Your Excellency Wuji, what do you want me to do?" In fact, she was really panicked. Because she had already thought of this guy's purpose. Chen Yang said with a smile, "It's nothing, just let you release your breath completely, and then attract people to come over. Don't worry, I'm a very reliable person, and I won't let anything happen to you. Also, turning around will do you good." Catherine was about to say, "I don't want this advantage." But at this moment, the person who chased and killed Catherine earlier had arrived. Chen Yang looked over. This is a big man with black skin. It's not that Chen Yang is biased, but that he himself looks, really, a bit like an orangutan. However, ordinary chimpanzees are not as fierce and weird as him. Catherine said, "This is a beast soul fighter who devoured the soul of an iron-armed orangutan and possessed a super strong body, and he also received the blessing of the undead powerhouse. Compare. He is very difficult. This sentence is true. Possessing the beast soul of the Iron Wall gorilla possessed 2 points, strong defense and terrifying power. And what disgusted Catherine the most was his undead attribute. The holy light of angels can indeed restrain the undead. However, history is relative. If the power of the undead is stronger, then it is the opponent who has restrained himself. This chimpanzee has high defense, strong strength, and undead body protection. The combination of the three is Tiank for her. And the opponent's level is higher than hers, reaching level 20 directly. When Chen Yang and Catherine looked at the chimpanzee, the other was also looking at Chen Yang. Okay, such a thin human being really makes me feel kind. He smiled, showing his white teeth. Against the black skin, this guy's teeth are really too white. Of course, the guy's white teeth don't do him any favors. On the contrary, it makes people feel disgusting. The chimpanzee laughed loudly. Hey, there are actually 3 beautiful women, and 2 of them are cute and petite oriental women. I like it, I like it. When he laughed, it was like an orangutan patting his body. In those eyes, there was a look of encroachment. This is naked desire. Catherine also hid behind Chen Yang and said, "Daddy, you have to be careful." Chen Yang rolled his eyes. Is this woman calling her dad addicted? Shut up. I am not rare. Chen Yang did not go to see the chimpanzee, and continued to ask Catherine. Where does he rank among 10 people? Catherine shook her head and said, I haven't had time to ask, how can I know? Instead, the chimpanzee had already spoken. Hee, it's interesting, you, a man from the Dragon Kingdom, can still be so calm in front of me, it really impresses me. You still want to inquire about our intelligence. Madness. Could it be that you think you can hunt us down if you know it? He was still talking, when he suddenly rushed towards Chen Yang. Sure enough, it was the same attack method as a beast. While running, phantoms haunt him. The violent force erupted suddenly, directly setting off a dark storm and spreading towards him. Seeing the opponent attacking, Chen Yang frowned. What the hell, Manatsa? Let's not talk about the power of the opponent's moves, but the smell is really smelly. If that's the case, then let me die. He squeezed his palm, and the flames burned immediately. A powerful force slammed down. Show no mercy, kill. It's different from that Pujawi. Although that guy is hypocritical, he is still able to communicate after all. However, this guy is different. This is a completely brainless type, dominated by desire itself. For this kind of guy who can't even do basic communication, Chen Yang will naturally not show mercy. A flame cut surged out, and the powerful force cut through everything in an instant. What about level 20? Today's Chen Yang can kill even a powerful existence at level 34, let alone a mere level 20. Flame and knife light spread towards the distance. As for this chimpanzee-like existence, it has been completely burned. Really, nothing. After Chen Yang beheaded him, he said to Catherine. Catherine, unleash your holy light with all your might. Catherine trembled. I told you to do it, don't you understand? Yes, I understand, immediately. The picture of Chen Yang beheading level 20 with a single strike before was really shocking to the soul. So much so that Catherine hasn't reacted yet. I have seen the battle between Chen Yang and the angel Irene before, but it was just a friendly exchange, and it stopped with one blow. But now, he was actually watching him ruthlessly kill others. This power, this oppressive force, is really terrifying. Yes, I'll do it right away. Originally, Catherine wanted to act like a baby, and then compete with these 2 Long Kingdom women. There is a word in the Dragon Kingdom called, compete for favor. But now, she has no such courage at all. After all, this gap is too huge, especially the action of beheading just now, and the domineering in the cold storage made her terrified. Holy light began to shine in the ruins. It wasn't long before there was a response. It's just that the people who responded to them at the beginning were not the people in Area A5, but the dead souls in the ruins. Waves of dead souls emerged, Even Catherine was afraid at first. But Chen Yang is really too strong. He punched out and swept directly. Fire dragon erupts, clean up directly. Then, there is a crazy improvement in experience. Catherine watched Chen Yang and the others happily farm monsters, but she, who was the bait, couldn't get anything. So angry. But I'm really envious. So, is it so beneficial to form a team with this man from the Dragon Kingdom? Catherine finally said this sentence. Can I join your team? Okay. No. Catherine was not surprised to hear that Chen Yang refused. After all, this man is ruthless, and he will not let go easily. Catherine continued. Father, I really want to join your team, agree with me to join, okay. I can give up the Angels camp. Chen Yang is simply hard-hearted and unmoved at all. I said earlier that I will not let you contribute in vain. After the matter is completed, I will give you a share of experience. Listening to Chen Yang's words, Catherine is so angry. This kind of feeling is, don't worry, I'm not whoring for nothing, I will give you money after playing. Yes, that's how it feels. Catherine felt that her lungs were about to explode. If it was in a normal time, Catherine would have been directly furious, angrily scolding the other party for being shameless. But, don't be angry, let's find out that Dad is really temperamental, he is always like this. Well, Dad is a good person, not the kind of person who will be ruthless after playing around. Two sisters. Catherine worked hard to release the holy light to attract the souls of the dead from afar, while looking at Jianru and Hujiqiu. Hujiqiu was cold, so he didn't pay attention to her at all. Jianru seemed to have an idea. Big brother, it's actually very good to have this sister join in. Okay. Catherine was taken aback. This woman actually spoke for herself. No wonder I found this woman so cute and innocent from the very beginning. Jianru smiled and said, Big brother, you are so fierce, the two of us can. Chen Yang pressed the girl's head and said, don't drive recklessly. Roro girl is going too far now. I wanted to drive as soon as I opened my mouth, and it was still a dry broken car. Anyway, I think it's very beneficial to let her join. At least the information from the God of Light is very important to Big Brother. While releasing the holy light, Catherine said, Yes, I can provide information about the God of Light, and I promise not to betray you. Anyway, I'm just the outsider of the God of Light. Chen Yang thought for a while, and finally said, You can follow us, but you can't join our team. He will never trust people who have been brainwashed by religion. It is absolutely impossible for Catherine to touch their core secrets. Although I was a little disappointed, I was able to stay by his side after all. No. 9527. Hey, what's going on? There are no monsters in this ruin. No. 7. The souls of the dead in the ruins are all attracted by a mysterious force. No. 410. I think it was number 0331 who did it, because she said that she is an angel. Go and meet her first. At this time, Pujui was following behind a tall blonde man, with his head lowered and a flattering smile. This tall man is named Jack. He is the strongest person who entered the ruins in Area A5 this time. Good job. His real level has even reached level 27. Earlier, Park Jui said that the one who came to the ruins this time was the weakest one in their world. This is of course a lie to Chen Yang. This kind of profit-seeking thing, how can it not be the turn of the weakest to come? Jack is not considered the upper echelon in Area A5, but he is also mixed with the big forces. You mean, the people from the Dragon Kingdom are using you to fish and want to lure us there? There was a strange aura all over his body, and when he smiled, half of his chin was exposed. Yes, Master Jack, that guy is very arrogant. He also said that in front of him, our Area A5 is all rubbish. Jack stood up. In front, the continuous release of the holy light is also his handwriting. Hey, I really didn't expect that there are such crazy people in Longguo. This is a different personality from the Longguo people I know. However, this guy is too escaped. If he did this, all the undead in the ruins would be wiped out. The undead are gone, so they don't even have a chance to earn experience. Then, let's go, teach him how to be a man, and let him know what it means to be low-key. Chen Yang killed a wave of undead again, which made Sei stop. After releasing the holy light for such a long time, Catherine was already crumbling. Chen Yang gave her a Juhua Yulu pill. He said, "Wait a minute, it should be almost here." For the A1 area, this is also an epic level. Because it's the first time we've actually met each other. It is true to say that everyone has traveled to this island world for so long, and struggled with life and death for so long. In the public chat channel, they are all acquaintances. However, in reality, it was the first time we met. The first to rush over was the 7th floor. At this time, number 7 was dressed in blue clothes, showing his ability. Her figure is graceful and slender, and her exposed eyes are full of agility. She landed directly on the ground and looked at everyone. "Everyone, we finally meet." While speaking, the eyes swept from Chen Yang to Catherine. She was very sincere, and said directly, "I am the owner of island number 7, Chin Ching Ching. This is my real name. Don't worry, I've got the information now. Since yesterday afternoon, the system has absolutely eliminated attacks such as casting curses through names. In addition, after this ruin, everyone's real names will also be displayed." Jianru and Hu Jiqiu looked at Chen Yang. This shows that they trust Chen Yang very much, and the decision-making power is completely handed over to Chen Yang. As for Catherine, she was a little surprised. Because of this information, she hasn't obtained it so far. How did number 7 know about it? So, is it because the angel camp is not strong enough, or is number 7 too awesome? She didn't doubt that the angel camp didn't tell her. After all, it wasn't a big deal. Chen Yang said directly, "No. 888, Chen Yang. I'm 889, Jane Ru. 4447, Hu Jiqiu." Catherine glanced at Chen Yang complicatedly, feeling aggrieved. Although she knew for a long time that the word Wuji was false, but finally hearing his real name, she still felt a little resentful. What a cautious and scheming man. 917 Chen Yang ignored her gaze, looked at Chin Ching and said, "We finally met, you are stronger than I imagined." When the leaderboard was announced, she was a level 15 existence. But now, according to Chen Yang's induction, her strength has reached at least level 20. And Chen Yang dared to say that if the chimpanzee fought her just now, the chimpanzee would definitely die in the end. She has a 5-dimensional value beyond ordinary people. At the same time, she also obtained very powerful treasures, at least 3 or more S rank. This is a very outstanding Dragon Kingdom woman, but there should be a faction behind her. This is Chen Yang who stopped her evaluation. When Chen Yang was looking at her, Chin Ching Ching was also looking at Chen Yang and his group. Jianru looks soft and weak, very cute. However, she was shrouded in a layer of mysterious light, even she couldn't see it clearly. As for this Hu Jiqiu, her aura is very sharp, she should be a swordsman. Finally, her eyes fell on Catherine. Catherine has already spoken in advance. Number 0331, Catherine, I am Chen Yang's teammate. Chin Ching Ching didn't seem to hear her showing off tone, she just looked at Chen Yang and said, "It was you who made Catherine release the holy light and led us here. Although it is risky to do so, it is indeed a good way to bring everyone together." Chen Yang just nodded dumbly. "In fact, my fundamental goal is still the people in Area A5, and I have no intention of meeting you. But, since you have defined this idea for me, I don't deny it either. However, it is very dangerous. We have intruders from Area 51 here. Also, we don't know the specific information of these intruders. What's more, there are many undead monsters in the ruins, the most powerful of which may be above level 25. Chin Ching Ching's words suddenly stopped. Because, in the distance, another group of powerful dead souls floated towards Chen Yang. Sure enough, what she was worried about didn't happen. Chen Yang suddenly looked at her and said, "You won't rob me, will you?" Chin Ching Ching did not expect Chen Yang to say such words in front of the enemy. She looked at the other 3 and seemed to have gotten used to it. Catherine walked up to her side and said with a smile, "The experience points here are all his. So, let's not compete with him for experience points." Hearing this, Chin Ching Ching was a little confused. The battle ahead. There are nearly 1 dead soul above level 20. I know you are very strong, but if you deal with it alone, is there really no problem? In the distance, there was another voice. Brothers, number 9527, come here. I'm here too. Two figures came galloping from a distance. One is a very burly man, while the other is actually a 15 or 16-year-old boy. These two people are both from the Dragon Kingdom. The older man is naturally number 9527, he is still full of coquettish chatter, with words in his mouth. The army of undead is assembled, it's time for us to fight side by side. And at this time, Chen Yong said coldly, "Meteor volcano." Boom, an almost berserk sound exploded at this moment. Immediately, a mushroom cloud spread out to the surroundings. This sudden power has directly reached the horror level. The terrifying power turned into a gust of wind and exploded towards the surroundings. Then, flame meteorites appeared one after another. Seeing the meteorite fall, everyone was stunned. This and the fact that it was already a bit depressing and gloomy, the sudden appearance of such a scene makes people feel like the world is about to collapse. Electron number 9527 was stunned. A fashion that will destroy everything is like a natural disaster. No, can't you? What's going on? Are these undead so terrifying? At this time, number 410 said, "It's not the power of the undead, it's number 888, which is your power." Number 9527 was taken aback, and asked, "Hey, how do you know that he is FAJ?" Number 410 rolled his eyes and said, "Is there even a need to ask, he's the only man." No, 9527. Brother Bin, what you said makes sense. Wooey gem. And, not one. The meteor fire rain fell, obliterating the souls of the dead on a large scale. Experience points, once again continue to skyrocket. But this time, Chen Yong didn't stop directly, he gave Hu Jiqiu and Jianru a look. The body suddenly disappeared in place. Jack is leading a group of people, hesitating right now. They were lucky enough to witness this terrifying, meteor fire shower. One word, absolutely. Before coming, they paused and they were full of confidence. Even though the novice cubs in district are somewhat talented, they have only grown up for 10 days. When I was at this stage, I had just passed level 10. With his current strength, it is too easy to defeat them. Kill them, take their companion treasure, then they will complete the task. And get rewards. For island owners like them who are not doing well in the A5 area, this is actually a very good shortcut. But now Jack is panicking. After seeing this move, he hesitated. The people in Area A1 are actually so strong. Nima, this is simply a monster. How could there be such a terrifying existence in this world? This level, placed in the A5 area, is definitely an upper middle level existence. Hu Jiji actually felt a little trembling in his heart. Is this man from Dragon Kingdom so scary? Master Jack, what should we do now? Could it be that the attack just now wasn't released by the man from the Dragon Kingdom? Jack stood up, his muscles moving. He swore, full of anger and fear. Because when he looked up, a meteorite had already fallen from the sky. That Dragon Country man has already locked himself in. How the hell did this guy find himself? His spiritual power, is he so terrifying? Lord Jack, help me. Hu Jui began to cry in horror. Jack didn't let him down, and directly pulled him over. Then, his muscles exploded with great strength, and he threw it towards the meteorite above his head. And he himself turned into a ray of light and left in an instant. You still want to go? The fire dragon has appeared. The weird fire dragon seems to have its own life. Shit, people from the Dragon Kingdom, don't be too arrogant, do you really think you can't do anything about me? A strange light burst out from his eyes, and suddenly, a skeleton frame condensed on his body. Then, his whole body swelled up directly. Unfortunately, everything is in vain. Under absolute power, all of this is futile. I am back. Chen Yong looked at the few young people who had just come over, but didn't respond much. Brother Fa, I am your idol. Bah, I was wrong, you are my idol. Yeah, Daddy, I'm here. Chen Yong waved his hands and said with a smile, everyone, you are all from the Owl District, so don't be so polite. Our mission item, the broken sword, should be here, let's go together. Chen Yong took the lead, and when he encountered any powerful monsters, he would punch them directly. His strength and generosity are respected by all. However, they would not have thought that Chen Yang just wanted to grab experience, that's all. Respected island owners, this task has been completed. Rewards will be distributed to everyone based on the labor paid. Others were dumbfounded. What did we do? Chen Yang didn't choose to return, but just bid farewell to Jianru and Hu Jiqiu. Then, he directly entered the A5 area. If you want to improve quickly, you have to enter a more dangerous area. Dear Chen Yang, your island will lose its protection from today. Because of the opening of the area, your island may face attacks. Chen Yang, who was heading to Area A5, frowned when he heard the news. Will it be attacked? This is also a troublesome thing. You go back to the island to protect it first. If you encounter an invincible enemy, then leave immediately. Mao Dan can follow Jianru back first. Then go to the nearby sea area to wander and defend. As for Chen Yang himself, he immediately entered the world of Area A5. I don't need to worry too much about my island. Because, in today's world of District A, there are only about 300 island owners left. Among the 9,999 islands, the probability of finding your own island number 888 is too low. What's more, what if you find it? Hairy eggs, completely enough to deal with. I have to say, Mao Dan is really so talented. The Sea Beast army under his command is now getting bigger and bigger, and the number of sea beasts selected has reached as many as -20. Moreover, in order to better protect and expand his territory, he also led the crowd to expand around. If someone really feels confident to challenge number 888, the number one person in the AL area, the first person they have to face is the Sea Beast. Maybe some people have more powerful abilities. However, in the sea, facing so many sea beasts, unless they have already reached level 25 or above. The only troublesome thing is the revenge of those old friends. For example, the gang of undead pirates, or the Ice and Snow Mountain. If these guys come to revenge, it will be more troublesome. However, let's not talk about this point in time. Will the world allow them to come in? Even if they come, Chen Yang is not worried. According to Chen Yang's experience, they find themselves according to their breath. Now that they are not in the island, their marks cannot find themselves. However, I broke into Area A5, so I am an intruder in Area A5, and I don't know if there is a corresponding protection mechanism in this area. This is something Chen Yang worried about, but he asked Catherine. According to the information provided by the angels, no matter whether it is AL, Area A5, or other areas, the original intention of birth is to promote the evolution of human beings. Therefore, the crossing between human beings will not trigger warnings. The 10 people in Area A5 will be warned this time because they broke into a special mission. Moreover, most of them have changed the main camp, which is the so-called Red Name. After knowing this information, Chen Yang was relieved a lot, and resolutely broke into the world of Area A5. Although that mysterious world system will not have any malice towards me, this person is obviously sent by the forces behind it. They were all killed by me, and there may be something behind it. It is impossible for the forces behind those people not to pay attention to this. However, it will not be too easy to find out who is the real culprit. He has determined that there is no such ability as backtracking in time, or real-time monitoring. If they want to know the real culprit, they can only send people to the AL area to investigate. This is under the circumstance that someone in the other top 10 has already leaned towards them. So, it's not that easy. Although it has been confirmed that it is basically safe, you still have to have a sense of crisis. Don't be afraid of anything, just be afraid of 10,000. Just as they entered the AL area randomly, after I entered the A5 area, it also appeared randomly. This is very good. Otherwise, you have to worry about being ambushed and killed directly. Area A5 and Area AL are completely different worlds. Catherine said that this area is now mostly controlled by the undead camp. When he appeared on the coastline, he was stunned immediately. I saw the surroundings, everywhere is dark. He checked the time. It's 10:32, it's daytime, but the surrounding environment looks dark and very depressing. It seems that the invasion mentioned by the angel is not just as simple as biological invasion, but directly change the entire terrain. If Area A1 is also invaded, then it will become like this. And the AL area is actually the place closest to the blue star. In other words, it is the last barrier of blue star. Forget it, it's not something I have to worry about. Because his strength has not yet reached the point where he can intervene in this overall situation. Chen Yang has always thought very clearly, that is, to do what he can do. If you really can't handle some things, then don't think about them. Fortunately for Chen Yang, there happened to be an island near here. Well, I sensed it. A powerful creature has appeared. The waves ahead were directly broken. There's a big guy going on a rampage. Identification technique. Species: Hell villain fish. Level: 29. Characteristics: cruel and bloodthirsty. It was originally a gentle fish. After being contaminated with hell, it evolved directly. It started to kill and liked to devour everything. Chen Yang did not read the following information. After all, it's only level 29. However, if I encounter any monsters at random, they are all level 29. It seems that I really came to the right place. Killing a level 29 monster wasn't enough to make him too excited. However, this means that he has found a suitable place to level up. For the next 3 days, Chen Yang continued to wander around. There are quite a few big monsters nearby, but most of them are between level 25 to 30. And now his attribute value is constantly improving. It's been a long time since I checked the current properties. Level 17, 369,286 50,000ths. Power, 4,999. Physical, 5,111. Agility, 5,026. Spirit, 5,256. Energy durability, 5,520. The recent battle has raised my 5-dimensional value again. However, these improvements are not obtained by my leveling up and adding points, but by the operation of my 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra. It seems that my choice at the time was correct. The enhanced Kung Fu, after getting it working, is really against the sky. You can continuously make your physique stronger and stronger. This gave him even stronger confidence in the future. Chen Yang originally wanted to continue killing. Unfortunately, he had an accident that day. There is an undead warship coming from afar at extreme speed. Chen Yang is very familiar with the style of this warship. Because his own wavebreaker was transformed from this undead warship. Ah, undead pirates, I almost forgot, since this place is already occupied by the undead camp, why should they be surprised when their ships appear? No, it seems that more than one warship is coming. This is something happening. Chen Yang is interested. I have been killing wandering sea monsters for the past few days. Although there are still some harvests, the number is getting smaller and smaller. If I can kill all of these, wouldn't it take off? After Chen Yang made up his mind, he went straight forward. According to his current spiritual power, unless there is an existence above level 35, it is difficult to find his existence. I seem to be on their hunting list, and I don't know what the ranking is now. However, I believe that after this time, my hunting ranking will definitely rise a lot. Chen Yang has completely merged into the sea water. Under the current mental power, everything around him has been sensed in his mind. There are 17 undead battleships in total, and the number of life responses on the battleships is almost 1,000. Among them, those above level 25 actually reached 50. Even, there is a level 30 existence. Hey, what luck, I encountered such a big move when I first came up. Chen Yang continued to lurk for a while, making sure that there were no other reinforcements nearby. At the same time, it is also checking whether these warships have powerful and highly accurate lethal weapons. In the end, he was sure, none of them. This army must have its own purpose when it goes there. Actually, I can give it a try. If I can fish in troubled waters, come and pick up a ready-made one. But, for me now, it's not necessary. This area is not his home field, 830, so there is no need to wave here. Now I have accumulated a sum of experience points. As long as I can directly reach level 20, I will withdraw. So, Chen Yang decided to make a direct move. Ice Age. In the ocean, what else is better than the Ice Age trick? The ship of the dead is on its way. Suddenly, solid ice emerged. Many strange life forms were directly frozen by the terrible ice before they could react. However, this is just the beginning. About 10 seconds later, an angry roar came from the most central undead battleship. Who dares to be an enemy of our Hell 14th Army? With his roar, a flame was released. To Chen Yang's surprise, his own ice was actually melted by the flame. This is Hellfire, the high-level flame owned by the undead camp. The flame temperature is extremely high, characteristic, directly damage the spirit through physical defense. Hellfire. This kind of skill can be regarded as a plug-in level, but my 9 Yang Qi can defend the spirit. A flame of this level is nothing to me. He squeezed his hand directly. A burial of frozen flowers. The endless black ice burst into pieces in an instant. Countless shards of ice splashed out. Ah, ha. It turns out that the undead can also scream. Level 30 undead are furious again. Who is it? Come out. Get out, General Ben. In his roaring voice, Chen Yang, match. A cold light flickered in his eyes. So sharp, so strong. This is his spirit erupting directly, turning into the terrifying Longwei. The roaring undead general locked onto Chen Yang in an instant. Unfortunately, at the moment when he was about to react, there was a pause in his mind. The undead are a special race with very strong spiritual power. But at this moment, he was sluggish. In his mind, there appeared a shape that could not be seen clearly, but it was very special, a dragon. This process only lasted about 2 seconds. It's not that Chen Yang can no longer suppress his spirit, but because Chen Yang has already killed it. Dear Chen Yang, you killed a level 30 undead general, your experience value has increased, plus 35,000. Dear Chen Yang, you are the first island owner to kill a level 30 undead general, and you have obtained a new title, Undead Punisher. Your prestige value has increased, and your experience value has doubled. As the voices came one after another, even Chen Yang was full of surprises. He exclaimed, unexpectedly, you can get so many benefits. Double the experience, reputation rewards. In the end, it is the title of Undead Punisher. Wait, what is the use of this title? The current self still bears the title of Dragon Slaying Brave. Undead Punisher, C-level title. Function 1. People with this title will increase their damage to undead by 10%. Function 2. The person with this title will stop the resistance of the undead and increase it by 10%. Looking at this introduction, Chen Yang is still very satisfied. That is to say, it not only increases the damage, but also has additional resistance, which is very good. With the death of the undead general, Chen Yang directly destroyed the other undead. After all, this trip directly allowed him to gain 230,000 experience points. Earn blood. And that's not all. And these 17 undead warships, Chen Yang captured them directly. These battleships are very sought after in the survival market, and they can be sold directly. With survival coins, you can get better items. More S grades, even SS grades. Of course, Chen Yang can be customized. However, the basic attributes of some things are different. He can now see very clearly that the higher the basic attributes, the more powerful the enhanced items will be. He wiped out a wave of undead navy, and did not leave in a hurry. Instead, they followed the direction of the undead navy and explored the past. As a result, there are no sea monsters around. The Ice Age just now killed the surrounding wild monsters by the way. Secondly, Chen Yang thinks that the undead navy's action with such a great fanfare, the target should be very interesting. Moreover, according to the configuration of the undead navy camp, the opponent should be able to deal with it. Simply, just go and see the excitement. Maybe there will be new gains. Chen Yang hid in the deep sea and sneaked for about 30 minutes. Today, he rarely summons the wave breaker. Because the wave breaker is too big. Moreover, the current wave breaker can no longer keep up with his speed. Unless he is bringing a sister, otherwise he can rely on himself to act alone. Okay, the temperature in the surrounding sea area is obviously dropping. An iceberg has appeared. Seeing the iceberg, Chen Yang thought of his friend. Catherine said that in Area A5, many places have been occupied by the undead camp, but there are also areas of other camps. Among them, Ice and Snow Mountain is included. Because of his old friend, Chen Yang also specially asked Catherine to ask Irene about the situation of the Ice and Snow Mountain. The Ice and Snow God Mountain is actually a special temporary stronghold manifested by the Ice and Snow God clan. In that place, there is the Ice and Snow God sect, the Pope, and the Xingzi under him. The faceless man Chen Yang met at that time was actually the son of the Pope. However, the Pope has a total of 37 heirs, and he is only one of them. In this way, it seems that the ice and snow gods and the undead camp fought dog-eat-dog directly in 5.1. Chen Yong left in no hurry. This group of undead fleets destroyed me, and coincidentally, I used the ability of the Ice Age. Then, the undead will definitely think that this is done by the Ice and Snow God clan. Maybe there will still be doubts, but it is almost the same. Excitement flashed in his eyes. Hey, maybe I can watch a big show. Wait, look at my current attributes. Level 17, 599,286 50,000ths. Power, 5,022. Physical, 5,111. Agility, 5,126. Energy durable, 6,220. Reputation, 500. The experience value is almost reaching 60W. Looking at it this way, it will be a matter of time before we reach 100W. 1 million experience points can be expected. Even Chen Yang's heart beat violently at this moment, and a gleam of light flickered in his eyes. If it is in this area A5, I will definitely be able to complete it. At this moment, his heart began to warm up. Passion. However, the more it came to such a time, the more Chen Yang could hold his breath. He calmed his breath, and then sank into the deep sea. In this way, Chen Yang waited for 2 days. Finally, he got a little impatient. It's been 2 days, and there's still no movement. In 2 days, if he went to other places, he could hunt many monsters and gain a lot of experience. Waiting like this, is there really any result? Forget it, let's just flatten the forces of the Ice and Snow Mountain camp directly. If I can push those on the side of the undead, I can naturally push those on the side of the Ice and Snow Mountain. The reason why I waited for 2 days was that I was looking forward to sending more powerful beings from the undead camp. But, I seem to have miscalculated. Phew, just wasted 2 days. As the person who cherishes time the most, Chen Yang feels very heartbroken. However, he quickly picked himself up to 26. Forget it, on the road to success, there will inevitably be trial and error costs, so let's not worry about these for the time being. Now, let's start acting directly. It's a pity that our good brother is not here. Forget it, the absence of my good brother means that he has a high level, which also means that I will be able to gain more experience points when we meet next time. This is not necessarily a bad thing. So, let's get started. Chen Yang's palm began to condense vermilion. He wants to start from the bottom of the sea, erupt a terrifying volcano, and then bury him in one fell swoop. However, just as Chen Yang was about to make a move, a heavy horn sounded in the distance. Woo! Listening to this voice, surprise appeared on Chen Yang's face. Here we come. That's right, it's the undead camp, a more powerful existence, too. Boom! A terrifying spark fell from the sky and hit the sea heavily. After that, there were more artillery from the undead battleship. Boom boom boom. Afterwards, the Ice and Snow Mountain finally responded, and a big battle began immediately. Boom! Among the terrifying artillery, the Ice and Snow Divine Mountain camp was directly smashed by a single cannon because they fought hastily. When Chen Yang saw this scene, his heart ached immediately. Asshole, this is my experience value. His purpose was to attract even higher level powerhouses from the Guangling clan to come. Now, his goal has been achieved. The new strongman of the undead clan has finally arrived. That is a thin old man wearing a black cloak. It doesn't have the strong body or weird figure that Chen Yang imagined. He looked just like a kind old man. But also at this time, an icicle rose directly. On the icicle, there is a woman standing. Her temperament is extremely cold, as if her breath can freeze the entire sea. Above the sea, a strong wind swept across. Then, there was an extremely terrifying scene. I saw 2 terrifying existences confronting each other in the sky. The new strongman from the undead side, the level is 34, and the profession is the necromancer. As for the girl on the Ice and Snow Mountain, her level is only 32, but she actually makes me feel stronger. It seems that I have to wait a little longer. Chen Yang had fought against a level 34 broodmother before, and that battle was a hard one. This is a strong player in the camp. Under the same level, he will definitely be stronger by the broodmother spider. Of course, my 5 elements heavenly dragon's wrath may be able to kill them directly, but this depends on the fact that they don't run away. Therefore, Chen Yang decided to watch the match. This is also the first time he has really seen a high-level faction powerhouse fighting. That woman from the Ice and Snow God Mountain displayed the power of ice, which can be regarded as superb. Whether it is an ice storm or a frost sword, they are extremely powerful and very ingenious. And that old necromancer directly summoned a bone dragon. The aftermath of the battle between the two powerhouses was very terrifying. More and more people from both camps were affected and died. No, these are all my experience points. If I continue, I will lose too much. Heartache. I have seen their attack methods very clearly. To me, the most shocking thing is that necromancer. The woman from Ice and Snow Mountain, in fact, her original strength is not comparable to the other party. However, she holds a powerful item. That is the Ring of Frost. According to Chen Yang's judgment, this is definitely a top S rank item. Its greatest ability is mainly freezing defense and freezing creation. She relied on the freezing defense to resist the bone dragon's attack, and then relied on the frozen creation to condense the seawater into ice, and then launched attacks continuously. From this point of view, the camp of Ice and Snow Mountain is very rich. Chen Yang waited again for a while. The bone dragon summoned by the necromancer continued to attack, and at the same time sprayed out white hell flames. The confrontation between the two sides has finally reached a heated stage. It's time. Chen Yang has waited too long for this moment. In order to stabilize, Chen Yang activated his strongest force at once. I want to take these two bosses together. 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra. Hunyuan Dragon Elephant Art. Burnt Fruit, Magma Fruit, Ice Flower. All the power is completely condensed. Wrath of the 5 Elements Heavenly Dragon. The last time I used this trick, I couldn't grasp it at all. I could only force these forces to be completely softened together. And now, it is the real power of combination. Fire, snow, air. One by one aura emerged. Finally, a 5-color dragon energy condenses into shape. Sure enough, the second time I use it, the pure speed has improved a lot. When it was cast last time, it had nothing to do with dragons, it was just a forceful mass of energy directly squeezed together. Then, relying on the terrifying power that erupted, it smashed everything. But this time, it's different. 970. This 5 Elements Heavenly Dragon was condensed and formed according to his thoughts. The function of this form is not to look good, but directly exert the power of the same level to the extreme. Boom, roar ho ho. The wrath of the 5 Elements Heavenly Dragon erupted, which immediately alarmed the Necromancer and the Ice Priestess. It's human. Necromancer and Ice Priestess felt bad at the same time. This powerful force made the two of them feel the threat of destruction at the same time. The Necromancer was furious and shouted directly. Who are you and which island are you from? How dare you start attacking us? Do you want to die? You know, this area A5 has almost fallen. There are too many island owners who have taken refuge in them. They have almost become the masters of this area. Therefore, very few island owners dared to attack them. Even if it is the top human powerhouses in this area. When encountering a battle between the two sides, those top human powerhouses will back away. This is the established rule in the Adalar area. But, this man is completely unruly. Chen Yang doesn't care. The wrath of the dragon of the 5 elements has already been cast, so there is no reason to stop it. In his eyes, whether it is the Ice Priestess or the Necromancer, it is his experience. Rule, HMPH, my rule is that experience must not be wasted. The wrath of the 5 elements Heavenly Dragon exploded suddenly. At this moment, the entire sea area was completely swallowed by the terrifying destructive power. The wrath of the 5 elements Heavenly Dragon explodes completely. The terrifying coercion turned into real shock wave ripples and spread. Where the ripples pass, everything will be completely obliterated. Battleships, undead, ice and snow powerhouses, none of them survived. You have successfully killed a level 20 ice warrior, your experience has increased. You have successfully killed a level 26 undead warrior, your experience has increased. The experience value is skyrocketing again. Listening to the reminder that the experience value has skyrocketed, a smile appeared on the corner of Chen Yang's mouth. This is the real wave of fat. Wait, the most important experience value has not been received yet. Amidst the terrifying explosion energy, the Necromancer's body curled up under the protection of the bone dragon. The bone dragon has already begun to collapse. Only the last bit of bone flame is still burning. This is the fire of its soul. When the flame is extinguished, it dies. Although the necromancer is unharmed at the moment, he has already been severely injured. Hate, what is the origin of this human being, and why is it so powerful? At this moment, he is simply gnashing his teeth. It looks like I can't survive, but I must pass on the information. Undead, it is impossible for a human to trample on it. He used secret techniques and finally passed on the news about Chen Yang. This is the last thing he can do for his camp. Dear Chen Yang, you have successfully killed a level 34 necromancer, your experience value has increased, plus 81,000. Dear Chen Yang, you have successfully killed the bone dragon, your experience value has increased, plus 47,321. It turns out that his bone dragon can also be counted as experience points. A smile appeared on Chen Yang's face. Very good, I got close to 130,000 experience points in one go. He immediately checked his attribute bar. Level 17, 739,286 50 thousandths. Ha, a million experience points, it's not far away. Even with Chen Yang's psychological quality, he couldn't help being shocked at this moment. This goal, which I thought was impossible to achieve, is now about to be achieved. As long as the experience value reaches 100W, then he can directly strengthen the 9 Suns Flying Immortal Sutra, and let him reach the SSS level. By the way, this necromancer is dead, and there is a woman from the Ice and Snow Mountain who has not died yet. Although, this woman's level is a little bit lower, but she is also Dafa. The aftermath of the 5 elements heavenly dragon's wrath finally dissipated gradually. Claw la la la. With the disappearance of the power, the sea water began to pour in, and the momentum was monstrous. Chen Yang's body fell slowly. Okay, missing. The woman from the Ice and Snow Mountain has actually disappeared. Chen Yang let go of his spirit, but he didn't notice it. He didn't leave immediately, but continued to release his energy Sha Xuan. Has the teleport gone? Impossible. Under the impact of such a powerful energy just now, the teleportation cannot be activated so easily. If it is his own Thunder Fruit teleportation ability, maybe it is still possible. However, the teleportation of his Thunder Fruit is also a short distance. However, with such a wide range of spiritual sensing, he couldn't sense it at all. It seems that he has really escaped. Chen Yang looked around again, and then disappeared. About half an hour later, on the surface of the sea, an ice coffin slowly emerged. The ice coffin opened slowly, and the woman straightened up. She looked at the sea that had returned to calm, and her body was trembling. Completely smoothed. Whether it was his own base or the warship of the undead, they were all wiped out by that terrifying force. Is this all made by that man just now? What is the origin of this man? Among the strong human beings already known in Area A5, there seems to be no such person. It doesn't matter, the appearance of such an unruly human race is not a good thing. The original A5 area is already the fat of the major camps. But now that such an existence suddenly appeared, it might break the balance of the major forces. The move just now was really scary. What is the origin of this man? At this moment, a strange voice suddenly appeared. Sure enough, the Ice and Snow God Mountain is a local tyrant per capita. This ice coffin has both defense and concealment capabilities. If you hide in it, this ice coffin will become one with the sea water. No wonder, even my spirit can't discover your existence. The Ice and Snow Priestess froze suddenly. You haven't left yet. Chen Yang stared at her with serious eyes. Well, if I leave, how can I send you away? Yanlong, appear. The Ice Priestess trembled all over. Because of the blessing of treasures, her power is actually relatively intact. But now, she has absolutely no confidence to face this mysterious man. The previous blow left a deep impression on her. This fear has penetrated into his heart. Immediately she shouted, You can't kill me. I'm different from that old man in the undead camp. My big brother is the Ice Prince. Yanlong has already roared down. The arc of ice and snow blocked in front of her. An arc-shaped round light turned into a barrier, directly blocking the front. Boom. There was a loud noise, and the arc oscillated. Just now this blocked the power, and then gave you time to hide in the ice coffin. As expected of an S-rank treasure, its defense power is really strong. I have the Ark of Ice and Snow in my hand, you can't kill me, why don't you just let me go? I promise, Ice and Snow Mountain will not pursue this matter. Chen Yang's body flashed suddenly, and he came directly in front of her. Don't you understand? It's not a matter of pursuing or not. Experience points shouldn't be wasted. Chen Yang punched out fiercely. This is the most direct and decisive Mono Jiao 10 punches. The pure power fell directly on the Ark of Ice and Snow. He could feel the power of ice rewinding. However, he doesn't care. I am willing to do everything for you and give everything for you. Even, I can give you any service you want. Don't the men of your human race like the women of our Ice and Snow God race the most? Even if she was a priest of the Ice and Snow Mountain, she directly gave up her dignity in order to survive. Chen Yang respects her choice very much, this is her value for her own life, and she is not at fault. But, I'm sorry, but for me, I'm used to killing my sister to preach. There is no woman in the heart, only the punch can have spirit. Dear Chen Yang, you have killed a level 32 Ice and Snow priest, your experience value has increased. Dear Chen Yang, you are marked by the curse of the Ice and Snow priest, and the Ice and Snow Mountain will hunt you down. After hearing the system prompt, Chen Yang was stunned for a while. He laughed. It directly triggered the killing order. It seems that my original plan has changed. Chen Yang originally planned to explore other areas in Area A5, looking for powerful deep-sea monsters, and then level up and record experience points. But now it seems that this road is no longer easy to go. Since it is a hunting order, then the person who came to kill me must be a stronger existence than this Ice and Snow priestess. I can't wave. Although Chen Yang is very eager to get enough experience points quickly, he will not forget that only by being alive can he have everything. For the sake of stability, it seems that I will go to the safest place and wait for the storm to come. So, where is the safest place? I can lean against the passage, as long as I can't cope with the ensuing revenge, then run away immediately. Different from Area A5, the will of the world in Area AL is still very strong. The restrictions on alien organisms are very strict. Although as time goes by, this restriction is also being loosened. But at present, there is still no room for super-level existences to go. 640. For the next few days, Chen Yang didn't restrain himself. He was wandering around, collecting some mobs from time to time, playing tooth-beating sacrifices, and improving his experience a little. My current experience points can allow me to directly increase to level 20. No, if it is completely transformed, it should be as large as level 2 after calculation. But the promotion of the 6th level directly, must be very huge for the overall growth of the body. However, Chen Yang resisted the temptation. Compared to this, I think it is more important to directly make your core skills become SSS level. SSS level, perhaps the ability of the sky-defying level. For him, it is very important. 2 days later, Chen Yang sensed the surrounding sea area, and it suddenly became quiet. In other words, it fell into silence directly. Then, temperature largely began to drop. Finally, it's here. If the temperature dropped directly, then it would be the strong ones from the Ice and Snow Mountain camp. Chen Yang had already prepared for this, so he didn't panic at all. You shouldn't have killed her. Okay, this voice sounded familiar. You have my ice goggle and dreamy ice flowers on your body, have you forgotten me so quickly? Chen Yang stood straight on the sea and said with a smile. It turns out that a good brother is here. The sea water rises slowly. Then condense into ice sculptures. Finally, that familiar figure appeared. He is the son of the Pope of Ice and Snow Mountain. The faceless man looked at Chen Yang, and he was not in a hurry to make a move, he just said, "Long time no see, I am really surprised by your improvement speed." Chen Yang smiled and said, "Are you alone?" "That's right, at your level, it doesn't make any sense for ordinary soldiers to come over. It will only become your experience value." At this time, Chen Yang was looking at each other. He asked, "This time, is it the real body?" "Neither. However, the level of this clone is relatively high, level 35. Chen Yang's eyes became sharper. Although, this level is only one level higher than that of the necromancer. But he understands how huge the gap at this level is. What's more, this person's identity is very different. His fighting power must be very strong. However, Chen Yang was not depressed, but was very pleasantly surprised. He began to look forward to it. The experience value of level 35 must be very high. This is the highest level of foreign forces allowed to exist in this world at present. The other party looked at Chen Yang, smiled and said, "It seems that you are very confident that you can kill me." Just when he finished this sentence, the surrounding seawater was once again covered by CGCI forces. Quietly, the surrounding area has been continuously piled up by ice and snow. A powerful and terrifying force has already spread out at this time, and finally formed a closed frost dome. Chen Yang felt his surroundings with his mental strength. Very, very tough. I can penetrate this frost dome by myself, but it will take time. Chen Yang was very disappointed, and shook his head. Talking to me is to form this closed area. Good brother, you have changed. You used to be very straightforward. When I went to Huang Bin's island last time, the other party was still straightforward. Now it's tricky. The ice-masked man suddenly asked, "Have you forgotten my name?" Mr. Ace. Chen Yang. Really, I forgot. I can't even react to the word ace. I, Alsace, have never changed, but you deserve more attention from me. I said earlier, you shouldn't kill her, she is my sister. Although I don't have a good relationship with her, but because of my mission, I must kill you. This is an S-level item called Ice and Snow Arena. Once locked inside, you can only get out if the other party is killed. Spikes appeared in the frost giant egg. This means that if Chen Yang wants to break through forcefully, he must first deal with these sharp spike attacks. Chen Yang nodded and said with a smile, "Sorry for forgetting your name, my memory is not very good." Under Elsa's feet, icicles suddenly exploded. His whole body was directly frozen. Elsa's voice was cold and mocking. "Hee, are you using ice to deal with me? Okay, let me see how far you have mastered the fantasy ice flower." In fact, Elsace at the moment is still calm. Even a little bit of anticipation. This man is one of the few human races who has been recognized by him. Now that he can be killed in a fair fight, that is also respect for him. The ice did not shatter, but melted. No, it's not ablation, it's reverse absorption. In other words, Chen Yang's blow just now was simply charging him up. When Elsa's absorbed Chen Yang's ice and was about to make the next move, he was stunned. He, who was always calm, was stunned. Between Chen Yang's palms, there was a powerful energy that surprised even him. The violent vigor was suppressed to the extreme by him. This is the strongest blow that combines all the energies of fantasy ice flower, burnt fruit magma fruit, and Tianlong magic. The wrath of the five elements heavenly dragon. The roar of the dragon. In this enclosed space, a terrible dragon chant erupted suddenly. "Good brother, out of respect, I can only welcome you with my strongest blow." Boom, 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 boom. The terrifying impact energy of the wrath of the five elements heavenly dragon continued to roar. That terrifying energy wants to escape continuously. However, the S-level prop ice and snow arena is really amazing. Such a powerful energy is unexpectedly firmly restrained, unable to break through at all. At this moment, even Elsa has completely changed his face. Eternal ice prison. A small ice prison appeared. However, this is what he used to freeze himself. He locked himself inside and sealed it tightly. Hoped to resist the impact of that terrifying force. What a terrifying power, this human being has grown too much in a short period of time. When we met last time, he felt that this man's strength was far beyond what he should have on the surface level. And this time, it was even more exaggerated than last time. Also, what ability does he possess? At the very beginning, he thought that the power Chen Yang possessed was flame. However, after seeing this blow, he didn't think so. The forces inside are very complex. And the most core thing has become the scorching hot magical power. Even he has to admit that this kind of power is indeed very miraculous. This power has given him the qualifications to transform and chase gods. This kind of power makes me feel very familiar. In this A5 area, there are actually some people who have such power. Just when Elsace was amazed, Chen Yang's face suddenly appeared. His face was almost directly against the ice cell. The terrifying roar and terrifying energy still existed, and even became more violent because the energy was sealed up. Elsa's looked at Chen Yang, who stood amidst the terrifying and destructive energy, with infinite solemnity between his brows and eyes. At this moment, Chen Yang's voice came through. "Brother, you are sitting in prison." Elsa saw Chen Yang's muscles and immediately tensed up. Obviously, the muscles are not particularly exaggerated, but he felt an unparalleled experience. "Your current strength has far surpassed dragons or titans of the same level. Really, it amazes me." This is a heartfelt compliment. He has fought in many regions and has seen too many outstanding human beings. But he feels that Chen Yang is no longer excellent, but outrageous. His basic attributes are simply outrageously exaggerated. "However, are you planning to use your strength to break my ice prison?" "I'm afraid you can't do this." Just behind Chen Yang, the shadow of a giant dragon appeared. The phantom of the dragon slowly merged with Chen Yang's fist. A smile appeared on the corner of Chen Yang's mouth. "Really? Brother, turn it into my experience value." Dragon fist. Boom. With a terrifying punch, he landed with a bang. This time, another surprise appeared on Elsa's face. Because this punch of Chen Yang concentrated all his strength on one point, and in the end he unleashed a decisive blow. He saw that his water prison was cracked. Chen Yang smiled. "Oh, I heard a saying that everything needs a crack, because that's where the light shines in. And in the current situation, this crack is where my Chen Yang power pours in." The energy of the wrath of the five elements heavenly dragon was directly infused into it. The powerful energy was originally compressed by the ice and snow arena, but now that there is a gap, it immediately rushes into it. Elsa snorted. "Frozen." Just 2 words, but almost like a law. The terrifying law of ice surged at this moment, and everything around was completely frozen. Even Chen Yang's wrath of the five elements heavenly dragon was actually frozen. But at this time Chen Yang was laughing. "Good brother, when you used your strength earlier, you taught me a new trick." Between his brows, something strange suddenly began to appear. In the end, it turned into a blue flower. Dream Frost Flower. The reason why you value it so much is because he not only possesses a powerful source of frost power, but also can restrain frost, right? Gather together. The dreamy ice flower began to bloom slowly. Alsace's attack actually began to be absorbed. It's useless. Fantasy Frost Flower can indeed suppress other frost powers. In a sense, it can even be the emperor of ice and snow power that devours me. The me in front of me is just a clone. My main body can continuously provide strength. So, do you think you can devour it? I might as well tell you the level of my body. My body has surpassed level 50, and I have successfully entered the demigod domain. Chen Yang narrowed his eyes slightly, and before he knew it, he grasped another very useful piece of information. It turns out that level 50 is the domain of demigods. At this moment, Chen Yang and Elsace indeed formed a strange stalemate. After about half an hour, Chen Yang finally said, "This battle should be over." In his palm, there was a dagger. Avengers Whispers. It has a special ability, Break Defense. Elsa's watched helplessly as the dagger was sent into his body. He couldn't help sighing. "It's another S-level item, you guy, you have endless tricks." When he said this sentence, it actually meant that he had accepted his fate. 0. It seems that this time you won again. Cracks began to appear in his body again. The good brother once again sent a wave of experience points to Chen Yang. But, just before he shattered, he said, "I've held you back for more than an hour, but the task is actually completed." At this moment, just outside the ice and snow arena, there are several powerful auras rushing over. Among them, there are those from the Ice and Snow Mountain camp, and there are also those from the Undead camp. "Dear Chen Yang, you have killed the level 35 Ice and Snow Mountain Prince clone. Your experience value has increased, plus 170000. Because you are the first to kill a level 35 strongman in the Owl area, you have received a double reward for experience points." What a good brother. In this way, I will directly have 340,000 experience points. I have to say, for a guy at level 35, the experience value is really high. Level 17, 1,139,286 50,000. The experience value has exceeded 1 million. Exchange for enhancement points immediately. Seeing that the strengthening point directly changed to 100W, Chen Yang's heart beat hard twice. I thought it would take a long time, but I didn't expect it to be completed this time. Finally, I have to wait for my own SSS level exercises. Although he already knew that this was Elsace deliberately delaying time, waiting for other people to surround him. However, today's Chen Yang doesn't care at all. After all, I have already prepared for it. Strengthen, Yin-Yang Feijing. Beyond the dome of the ice and snow arena, strong players came one after another. The three powerhouses from the ice and snow camp are all level 35. As for the undead camp, there are 7 strong men, 2 of them are level 35, and the rest are level 34. Such a lineup is incomparably luxurious. At the moment, the two sides are confronting each other. Facing the undead camp was a young man in a pink kimono. He held a strange knife in his hand, and said in his mouth, "The people on the side of the ice and snow mountain are really useless. Since the kid is inside, why don't we just kill him? If you are impatient, let us come." A ice and snow bishop said slowly, "Hehe, Momonosuke Zeman, you were originally a leader of the human race in the A5 area, but you didn't expect to join the undead camp directly. Even if it's the human race who went here, you are a very good running dog." 187. Momonosuke Zeman's eyes turned cold after hearing this sentence. "You were looking for death, he. All of a sudden, the ice breath and the terrifying will-o'-the-wisp confronted each other directly. To strengthen the 9 Suns Flying Immortal Scripture, 10,000 enhancement points are required. Strengthen. Chen Yang chose directly without any hesitation. I have put in so much energy, isn't it, for this moment? Strengthen directly, without hesitation. Enhancement completed. Item 9 Suns Dao Jing. Grade SSS Unique. Function: swallow the energy of the 9 suns, condense the magnificent body, transform the essence of life, and roam the world. Remarks: this will change your fate. Is that all the information? I always feel that this scripture is a bit unpretentious. Forget it, it has been strengthened anyway, so let me feel the power of the 9 suns Dao Jing. His mind was fully concentrated. At this moment, he sensed the outside world. Outside, the powerhouses of the two camps are confronting each other. It seems that if there is a disagreement, there will be a big fight. I stared at them, but they didn't notice it. A strong man who has reached this level already possesses a very terrifying divine sense. Normally, if my spirit explores the past so unscrupulously, the other party will definitely find out. But now, no matter whether it's the undead who are the best at spirit, or the ice and snow gods who have reached level 335, there is no response. This shows that Chen Yang's spirit has completely surpassed them. Today, Chen Yang's spiritual power has transformed directly, which cannot be described simply by the words, spiritual power. The 9 Suns Dao Jing has become a real thing for cultivating immortals, not a simple martial art. So, my current power can be called immortal consciousness. Immortal consciousness, immortal spiritual consciousness. However, the improvement of spiritual power is only one part of it. My physical body also directly began to transform. At this moment, within Chen Yang's body, a mysterious light condensed. This mysterious light transforms, as if it is a round of scorching sun, and it is also as if it is a big cauldron. The cauldron moved slowly, and then Chen Yang saw many of his items being integrated into it one by one. First of all, there is already strengthened burnt fruit juice. The original burning fruit is the power of the flame element. In the early days of the great navigation world, this elemental fruit was both cool and powerful. But in the middle and late stages, it became the fruit of, dogs don't eat it. After Chen Yang strengthened it, he first got rid of its weakness, making himself not afraid of sea water, and the power of the flame was directly increased. Then strengthen it again, so that the burning fruit has the power of the magma fruit. That is, a fruit with dual abilities. This fruit is in Chen Yang's early stage, which is extremely important. Chen Yang can survive to this day, this thing is indispensable. Now, this fruit has been directly stepped into this millstone. The terrifying and powerful millstone slowly rotates. Finally, the Xiao fruit was completely melted. From then on, this item ceased to exist, but turned into a pure flame source that filled Chen Yang's limbs, bones, and even every cell. Then, there is the Dream Ice Flower. As a powerful item of the ice and snow mountain, this item is not only powerful in itself, but also seems to hide a huge secret. Therefore, Elsa's, the demigod Ice Prince, even dispatched his avatar to look for it. This thing was directly refined. Next up, Dragon Ball. SS level item, Dragon Ball. The existence of this object gave Chen Yang great benefits. His dragon energy is nourishing, improving Chen Yang's physique all the time, making him stronger. At the same time, it can also provide functions such as avoiding water, avoiding poison, and defending armor. However, at this moment, the Dragon Ball was also refined. After the Dragon Ball was refined, Chen Yang felt his heartbeat instantly slow down. Outside of his body, there is a real dragon entrenched, extremely overbearing and ferocious. But in the next moment, Chen Yang opened his mouth and swallowed the shadow of this huge dragon. Then, there is the thunderous fruit. In short, all the items on Chen Yang's body were refined one by one, and finally turned into the most fundamental power and integrated into Chen Yang's body. Boom, 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 boom. The sound of his heartbeat directly filled the prop ball of the entire icy arena. Outside world, Momonosuke, on the side of the undead, rushed towards the ice and snow suppression side with a chopping knife in his hand. In fact, judging from the camps of both sides, the undead side will suffer even more. Because, there are only 235 levels on their side. But Momonosuke is fearless. If Chen Yang can see it at this time, he will find that the sword in this person's hand is actually Zanpakuto. Roar, Rattlesnake. The long knife in his hand glowed red. Baboon King Rattle Ball. HMPH, you fools, since you dare to insult me, get ready to smash it. Misfits. He crouched down, ready to attack. Originally the island owner of Human 5.2, got the Zanpakuto, and then completely joined the undead camp. His strength is very strong. Among the current island owners in Area A5, he happens to be ranked 11th. But just when he was about to make a move, boom. Okay, what's the sound? This terrifying and depressing voice made him feel uneasy. He turned his head and looked at the icy arena dome. Not only him, everyone, heard the voice. It was as if the ice and snow arena had turned into a heart and began to beat. Bishop Frost said in a low voice, "What's going on? Is it the battle between His Highness and that human? Do it all, do it." The sound of the heartbeat is getting faster and faster. Crack, click, click. A crack, Lurin appeared. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.